Okay. Let's get some music on as well. Alright, so last we left off is actually more longer ago than usual. Unfortunately, last session I wasn't able to record. Whatever, we'll fill you in. The Wayward Wanderers, after arranging their fight at the arena, went to the Zenith Institute, discovered they couldn't go there, arranged a date, went up to the plateau, gave info to Lord Halfthird's advisor, found the magic store, the Immaculation, was closed for restocking. They then went to the Jeweled Repose, where they had a conversation with a gnome named Spriggett, who came up to them after they basically harangued a employee into feeling too awkward and frustrated and leaving. This was done by Cedric grabbing the man and sniffing his hair to tell what oil he put in his hair. The conversation with Spriggett was way more not only intense but also informative than they ever could have imagined. The way Emmett explained himself and what he previously used to do was he was a man, a somewhat teacher of magic, and would specialize in helping people who were coming to terms with using their magic, discovering aspects of it for the first time. Usually children and younger people who are just having these magical signs start to show within them. He spoke with Zinni, who told him all about the dreams that she's had, the feelings that she's getting, and for Spriggett it was a non-issue, being someone who was not originally from the island. Oh, that's the Bone Maven, the god of death. You're performing funeral rites on them. All entirely new to Zinni, which came to as a shock to Spriggett as well, because, as Spriggett said, anyone who's a cleric or paladin of a god has usually sought out that god to attain that power before, being given it. And so it was incredibly odd that not only would a god put their presence onto this island, which, as far as he knows, hasn't been done ever, and on top of that, bestowed it to someone without even informing them of what that power was, where it came from, who the god even was. After that, you went back down to the Lady's Garden for a bit. Zinni had a bit of a moment where she tried to pray for the first time, after being taught what praying even is. She sat alone in a dark room with Randy's skull for a bit, and was eventually transported into a different place, inside her mind at least, where she had her own little moment, and after coming out and describing to Anxie everything that happened, she had a little moment where she saw a bunch of, what were presumably a bunch of dead people and dead wailing souls. She shepherded one onwards to someplace towards the spinning scythe, and then had a beautiful little moment with a little old lady she hadn't seen in quite a while, Granny Squiggle, who came to her, told her to trust in herself and the being that bestowed power into her, because Granny Squiggle knew that Zinni is everybody's favourite, and that people who trust her are the kinds of people that are worth trusting. Following this, Zinni was not any clearer or feeling any better about anything that was going on. She still doesn't really know if she's doing the right thing, because, again, so much of the machinations of what's going on is in the dark and an unknown. After that, Anxie had her date with Dranth, the drow who met her at the doors of the Zenith Institute, and it was very awkward and very fun for everyone that was watching, but not for them. Like two nerds who didn't know how to flirt together, they awkwardly stumbled into the restaurant, ordered things that they didn't know if they would like or not because it was too fancy for them, and then, after a time, got chatting, effectively forgot that they were on a date, and just started yapping about history, about magic, about all the different kinds of things they've done. Okay, fair. Anxie played it safe and bought and ordered the soup of the day, and Dranth just pointed at the menu and ordered something, and half a pig's head appeared. After some nice music to carry them through the night, they left the restaurant known as the Last Bite, feeling very happy for the most part and intrigued about all the different things that they had learned about each other. Dranth received a peck on the cheek as Anxie ran into the penthouse suite, and after giving Sid a death stare after he giggled a bit too much, ran into her room. The next morning, you guys woke up, went to the Adventurers Guild, and picked up 2 quests, one of which was one you already sort of knew about. A bunch of the statues around the city are being defaced, somehow, some way. People don't really understand why or what's going on, but some man in the uppers has been looking into this himself because he believes the city guard to be incompetent, and is now taking the mantle upon himself to get this issue sorted. The second commission was from Barry down in the Jewel, as it was referred. You later found out that this is referring to the Twins, which are 2 twin inns down the bottom of the... close to the Scrange. The clerk at the Adventurers Guild implied that there was maybe something odd going on with it, because she said that Barry had been coming in every other day asking about if someone had taken up the commission or not, and the only bits of advice and words that she said were, whatever he wants, I want no part of it. And that is where we find ourselves. I believe you guys said you were going to split into 2 groups and head in different directions.
So guys, I'd like to run a few errands in the upper, so I will take this job. Anyone wanna come with me?
I'll come with you, Anxie, if we can make a
Lovely.
quick stop at the Merchants Guild.
I'd love to do that.
Right.
Yeah, I'll head down to the Scrange.
So,
I'd like to go down there as well. And
Well-
hopefully visit the church en route.
I guess that just leaves me, huh?
What are you gonna do, Sid?
Well, you said something about those statues, right? Seems like quite the mystery.
I suppose.
Well, it just happens to be that me and Cecil are quite fond of mysteries, aren't we, Cecil?
And Cecil appears from out of my arm and sits on my shoulder, right?
Sits on your shoulder and looks at you as you sort of start to mention this and nods his head enthusiastically.
Well, what do you say, Dr. Cecil? There's a mystery afoot, or should I say, a claw.
Yeah, let's solve this thing.
Onwards.
And I just start walking.
I turn around, by the way, and I actually don't know where it is. I will just follow you guys.
Alright, Sid. Also, both are mysteries for us right now.
Okay, so the group's splitting up. First things first, let's go to the Merchants Guild. Walking not too far out of the Adventurers Guild, turning right and heading back down the cross, you come and pass by, or get to, the Merchants Guild, a place you passed by on your way into the city. This very prominent and big building that has a lot of crates stacked outside of it, a couple guards, different than the Lord's Guards, might I add, in completely different armour, potentially some kind of private hire, but you hear Anxie, Sid, and Baylor, a incredibly hustling and bustling sort of trade room floor on the inside.
Sounds really busy in there.
Yeah, let's try to talk with someone and figure out a way of accessing what we need.
Yeah. Let's head inside and see if we can find someone who works there.
You going inside as well, Sid?
Yep.
So, as you all head inside, the first thing you are immediately met with is a smack in the face. Not physically, but from the smell. There is an incredibly strong smell of pungent spices. The kinds that you don't really smell or get anywhere. But this is a merchant's guild. There's got to be someone buying and selling it, but it is stinking up the whole place. After your eyes have finished watering and you regain your sense of self, you take a look around, and there's all manner of different kinds of people, all in different kinds of garbs and clothes and robes. Some that are incredibly loose and drapey and like brushing along the floor. Others are sort of like very tight, slick back and close to the body, and there's even the odd person who's like bundled up in like what clothes that are like ready for the winter. All manner of different merchants talking amongst each other. Like, you see some of them holding like different slips of paper, shouting in each other's faces about buying and selling different things. There is some kind of a clerk's desk way at the back of the room from what you can see, where there's a whole swamp of people just like barraging like 3 different clerks behind the desk.
Did he cut out for anyone else?
Oh, did I?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
What did you last hear? Sorry.
Something about the clerks that are behind the desk.
So there's some sort of a clerk's desk where there's like 3 clerks that are just constantly getting bombarded with questions and like people haranguing and asking for things.
Shall we go there then? It seems like
Yeah.
they would answer our questions.
I think that looks like the right place to go to start with these.
Let's go.
Okay. As you come closer and closer, the crowd around the clerk's desk gets like a lot more sort of like shoulder to shoulder. There's a lot of people trying to barge their way to the front. There is no queue to be seen anywhere. There's just people pushing and shoving even on your way there and just walking to it. Several people will like elbow past you and sort of like rush off in like a hurried direction to where you do not know, but they're gone as soon as you see them in the busyness of the crowd. You guys are going to need to like wrestle to get through to the front desk, basically.
So
As you try to push through the crowd, can each of you roll me either a generic strength or dexterity check, whichever you guys would like to roll.
Oh man.
No problem.
I will not be touching any of these people. I'll be using my telekinetic shelf to push them away from me.
I will let you have. I will have that give you advantage.
To
Whatever
strength or
strength or
dex?
dex roll still.
Is it a save or just a straight roll?
Regular straight roll, which does mean Sid's would need to come down by 3, I think, because you got +4 to strength, right?
14.
So you've rolled a 14. Anxie's also rolled a 14. Okay. I'm assuming you're all trying to make your way through together. So that's 2 fails and 2 successes and a fail. As you sort of like, as a group moving throughout, Cedric is effectively just walking in a straight line, and people are bouncing off of him as he just continues to walk. Anxie's sort of walking alongside him, and anyone who comes too close to her just gets invisibly shoved backwards and pushed into someone else. Baylor, as he's sort of like trying to like walk behind these people, is getting barged and bashed by people and like getting like shoved backwards little by little. Sid or Anxie, would you like to reach back and lend a hand to Baylor?
Yeah, maybe he should stay in between of us. So Cedric should be first, then Baylor, and me in the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Acting as a bodyguard for Baylor, you eventually manage to carve a path straight directly to the clerk's desk and get to the front of it. The 3 clerks are currently speaking with other people, and as soon as one is finally done, there's just like, oh, okay. The clerk takes a breath, and immediately another merchant, hey, come here, I need some more, like, what is the thing we need? And just like, her attention is immediately taken by someone else.
Telekinetic speech on him, telepathic speech on him. Yo, that's not cool.
What the?
Hope you got scared.
Fuck off! Yeah, anyway, so, like, I ordered 3 whole crates of this perfume, and it is not arrived yet, and you are legally and liably responsible, and I need this shipment, like, today. It's meant to be leaving today. And this conversation, you watch the clerk is just sort of, like, shy, and a bit sort of like, okay, well, let me see what we can do about that. What was, the perfume? This... You get the feeling that this is going to carry on unless you do something.
Ken, Sid didn't like the fuck off towards Angsty, right?
It was in her head.
You didn't hear it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like it either. Don't worry about it. I'd like to cast suggestion on this guy.
Okay.
In his mind, basically.
He's going to roll...
And-
What kind of a check again?
Just a second.
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom, yeah.
Okay. What's your suggestion?
So, I'll suggest he apologize to the clerk immediately and says that he will come back later when he cools down. He cools off basically his emotions.
Okay. You watch as this guy's eyes sort of like glaze over for a second. And it's only in this moment where he slows down for a bit you get to get a good visage of him. He's wearing some kind of like silk headband that's like wrapped all his hair up and is keeping it like tied up. He's got darker tanned skin and is wearing very loose baggy clothes. All nice fine silks but very loose fitting, and you can't see like a good contour of his body from underneath. And as he sort of like comes to and his eyes gain focus again, he I'm sorry, miss. I'm gonna come back in a second. And he just turns around and walks off. You see the clerk just has a sigh of relief. Oh, thank God. Hey, miss, come here. You. So I ordered a bunch of shit from some guy who isn't here yet. No. He's not here. I heard that he died. His name was Dane. You need to reimburse me for this, because he's part of your guild, and he's not here on time. I'm sorry he's dead, yeah, whatever, but this is my coin. It costs 2,000 gold, you guys need to replace this immediately. And her attention is immediately taken by this next
Did I
guy.
tell Anxie that name?
Excuse me?
I don't know. I don't remember if I told you that name.
I
but
think you did, but it's down
I
then to a
think I
matter of
did.
if Anxie remembers or not.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I basically met his wife in my daydream, and she was asking for me to send her back to Dane.
Oh,
who
the
is obviously
current guy.
dead. He's just a random guy. They've both died, and she was just in one of my daydream. They're like the daydream when I was with the skull. And she was like, I need to get back to my husband. And I asked her what his name was, and she said Dane.
And that's the guy that's currently stalking with the cleric.
No, he's
clerk.
just said his shipment's not arrived because the person who's meant
Okay.
to deliver it is dead, who's called Dane.
I didn't. Yeah, okay. I remember your story. I just didn't care much about what this guy's telling the clerk, because he just took our spot. Okay. I turned towards Baylor and said, guys, we might have to speak up, or everyone's going to take our turn, basically.
Yeah, I think so. I'm just going to lean forward sort of towards the desk, or sort of over the desk, and just raise my hand and go, excuse me. I'm just going to repeat that until somebody comes to me.
The clerk who's closest to you is like seeing you and like looking over at you, but still writing notes about the guy who's like shouting in her face. So, Dane, Dane, do you say it was Shambler? Okay, it's
Can I
probably
recall his
recorded on
name?
the books.
And, like, Dane's name, basically. Can I recall that, like, from what Zinnis told me?
Do you think it'd be fair that you did? It was just last night.
I would assume so, yeah. I don't think my memory is dog shit.
Okay, yeah.
Do I have to roll anything, or do I just
No.
remember it?
It's down to you to roleplay whether your character remembers or not. It's like whether you, the
Oh.
player, remembers is like a different matter. But yeah. Oh, okay.
Let's see. How do we get rid of this guy?
Let me see. Okay. We'll need to check the shipment details to find out how much the retail value was, and we'll be able to reimburse you for 75% of lost because we do not cover shambler attacks, unfortunately. What? That's an outrage! How can you possibly not cover shambler attacks? That is literally the entire danger on this island. How can you not have anything to cover this? Well, I'm sorry, sir, but these are the rules of the Merchant Guild, and these are the if you are purchasing goods from someone who is a part of the Merchants Guild, these are one of the standard rules that they would have told you at the time. They would have handed you some sort of like a guide. What was your name? Sorry. Don't fucking worry about what my name is. You need to worry about what the fuck you're saying. This is just messed up. You cannot allow this to happen. I'm down 2,000.
Mid-sentence and place a hand on his shoulder and just
it-
ask him if there's a problem.
Okay, you've taken this guy by surprise. I'm assuming this is like a sort of like an intimidation check at this point.
Yep.
I was going to say, because you've caught him off guard, roll with advantage, but with a roll like that, you do not need to bother. As soon as you place your hand on your guy, you watch as he jolts and just sort of what?
I don't like the way you talk. You're not very polite. I don't like not polite people.
Okay.
So simmer down a little bit, yeah? This guy here is doing his job. No need to shout.
Well, yeah, I'm just doing my job as well.
Yeah? Does that mean you have to shout, though?
What? Yeah, because everyone else here is shouting. Could you I'm sorry.
It's okay, buddy. Could you step aside for a second? My friends here want to talk with the person here. We won't be long.
Sure, I'll wait my turn.
Thank you, little buddy.
Excuse me, miss, can I get your attention?
No.
I'm
Baylor screaming at her face.
excuse me, and I'm kind of looking at her.
Okay. Okay, she's locked in, you've got her attention.
Hi, I'm sorry I had to do that. I had to get your attention somehow. And people keep pushing in
It
front
comes
of
to the
her.
job, it's okay.
I'll take as little of your time as possible. I'm looking to buy some diamonds. 300 gold's worth of diamonds.
Diamond... hand shaking. Diamond... Okay, I need to look at the ledger.
You're okay. You don't need to rush for us.
Diamonds.
Also, once
Jewel
he's done, it's my
merchant
turn.
who is currently here is Rain. You can find him on the first floor, east quarter. Head on up those stairs, go to the east quarter, find a guy named Rain.
Thank you very
Immediate-
much, miss.
Immediately after, so you don't cut me off again, I start talking to her.
Okay.
Excuse me, since you were so quick to help him, I wonder whether there are any merchants that can create custom masks or already have any masks created for people, porcelain masks, any type of masks that would be good enough to cover.
Merchants
someone's
Guild
face.
here, we just sell stock merchandise. If you're needing something crafted, you'll probably have to find some other place in the city, sorry.
And are there any merchants that sell any masks or anything of this
I
sort?
don't know.
Jesus. All right. Thank you very much
Okay,
for the help.
I'm gonna tip her a gold.
Thank
Thank you for your info.
Thank you. You watch as she looks sadly at the gold coin and then reaches it over and drops it in a tip jar.
Ah.
Oh man.
Okay, thank you for your help. Yes, sir. So the fact of the matter is that because someone's died on the road, it's not our issue, and and the conversation immediately starts carrying on.
Yeah, we're gonna head up to the first floor then.
Okay.
East quarter on the first floor.
Okay, you head on over to the stairs that she pointed at, and you immediately walk up. It's a distinctly, considerably quieter atmosphere. You find yourself in a big sort of There's a big lobby that you are immediately looking at, and there is one direction, a big hallway going left, and a big hallway going right.
Which direction is it?
Roll me a survival check. It
Can
is
we
a
help
very low DC, just to remember what direction is which.
Can we help him?
Nah, let's just roll. 17?
Having
Yeah, no,
advantage
you're
at
good.
least.
Left is east.
Okay, so we head left.
Okay. Sorry, it'd be funny if you walked out, like you rolled a 2 or something, you walked the wrong way. Okay, you head down the east wing, and you find yourself in the eastern quarter. There's a couple people sat around. There's a lot of people sort of like sat in different sort of like coffee table-ish things set up. There's probably like about 8 different people here.
I'm gonna go up to the first person. Hi, excuse me. I'm looking for Rain.
Rain? Over there by the window, that's him. And
Thank
then
you
they
very much.
immediately go back to sipping their drink, whatever they were. The man you see by the window, he is a human. His skin looks a little clammy, a little sort of like slightly wet-ish, if anything. Bordering on like greyish, he looks like unhealthy. He's definitely human by the looks of it. He's got a little like beanie hat on and is wearing some like tight, close grey leathers. And he's just sort of like standing there looking at the window.
That was really weird, by the way, how you described that, because you were like, he is human, and now you're like, he's definitely human.
Yeah.
Like, what?
He's human, that human.
very sus.
I'm not very good at poker faces, guys. Can we just carry on with the roleplay?
I'm gonna walk up to him. Hi, excuse me. Are you Rain?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what do you want?
Hi, Rain. I've been sent here from the clerks downstairs. I'm looking to buy some diamonds.
Diamonds? Sure. He whips out a notepad. How much you want?
300 golds worth of diamonds.
Venture, I guess.
Yeah.
Cut or uncut?
It doesn't matter. Probably uncut would be better, I suppose.
Works out better for you. That'll run you 350 gold.
350 for 300 gold worth of diamonds.
Yeah.
Is there any discount for the Saviors of Edgewood?
No. What?
All right. And I'll give him the 35 platinum I've got.
Actually, hold on, sorry. Roll a roll a persuasion check.
Can I guidance myself for that?
You can.
Nice.
No, what? Saviors of... Wait, Saviors of Edgewood?
Yes, sir.
What even is
That's
that?
right. It means we saved Edgewood. It's in the name. This guy.
You heard about the recent Shambler attack on Edgewood?
I did, yeah. One of my guys was transporting through there over the night. That was you guys.
That
Yeah.
was us.
Yup.
We're the Wayward Wanderers.
Yours truly.
330 gold.
Thank you, sir. I'll give him 33 platinum.
Alright.
So, by the way, this is not my business, but just I'm a bit of a caring person, you know. Are you alright? You look a bit sickish.
Yeah, I'm fine. Roll an insight check, Cedric.
Oh
Fuck.
no.
Yeah, he said he's fine, he must be fine.
My bad, sir. That's totally fine.
Can any of us basically see if we believe what he's saying?
The rest, you two as well. Sure, you can roll insight.
Awesome.
Baylor, you rolling as well, or you not care?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there we go. Anxie, you and you alone, as you sort of like watch this guy talk to all of you guys very short and to the point. You get the feeling that he is fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with him. He was definitely caught in his mind thinking of something before you guys interrupted him. Probably some kind of like baddish memories or something, but that's the best you can tell.
Oh, he does seem fine, doesn't he?
Yeah, no mystery here.
Alright, let's go out front. And he starts walking off.
Do we follow him? Yeah, he's not giving me the diamond, so yeah, we follow him.
Okay. You follow him down the stairs, and he goes out the front door. He takes a left out of the front door, and then another immediate left, and walks down the side of the building. And takes you to what is basically like a warehouse. This building attached at the back here is, like I said, an attached warehouse where a lot of merchants' goods is getting stored. He turns to look back at you before you get to the warehouse. He's like, "Stay there, I'll be out in a sec." And he heads on into one of the stores, walks around. About 5 minutes later, he comes out, holding a small little leather bag. Hands it to you. 330 gold. And holds out his hand.
I've given him the 32 or 33 platinum already.
33 platinum. Takes it. Thanks for doing business. Use it well. Hope you don't have to use it.
Thank you. I hope not. But rather safe than sorry, right?
Smart man. See you around. And he
Thank you.
starts to walk off and head back inside.
Guys, I don't want to ever come back here again. This place is horrible.
Me neither.
I imagine that's probably
terrible.
it's probably awful for Baylor. Like you, the gated community you grew up in. This is like nothing you've ever seen before.
Yeah, so it made, like, my role, that 9-hour role, try and get through the crowd, that made perfect sense to me. But I didn't want to re-roll it with inspiration either. 'Cause it's like,
When Baylor said that, Sid replies like,
Oh, I don't know. Quite like the smell inside there. Yeah.
It
Technically,
was from smell.
I
Alright.
don't. Oh God.
What?
so we're happy now? We're gonna move on?
I feel like it. We should go. By the way, on the way to the uppers, I'd like to look around the buildings and see whether there are any like stores that might be selling any particular not clothing, but like items that would look like masks or anything.
Did you say on your way to the uppers?
Yeah.
Okay.
And after, of course.
I
Basically
will
on the way
say
to the
that as you pass by the Adventurers Guild, you walk past. Fuck, what's it called? Trenny's Artistry and Cartography. I think that's what it's called?
Trannies?
Didn't you
Trenny.
buy the map there.
That's what I said.
Yes, that's where you bought the map. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, yeah. Trenny. Trenni.
Yeah, that's what I've got about a pretty on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of arts and craftsy stuff. There's a lot of like handmade little doodads in there. But before you go there, we are going to cut down to
Yeah, of course.
the scrounge. So, Andros and Zinni, as you guys walk and head south of the cross, you guys start walking into denser and denser neighborhoods. Doesn't look particularly that bad yet. A lot of the houses just get a bit smaller and more packed together. However, as you round the corner into the final straight, you do see the twins up ahead of you. Very obvious. They're like 5-story high buildings opposite each other. 2 pub/inn looking places. You do see a big building down the bottom of the road as well that's about 4 stories high as well. But the housing here is insanely more dense than everywhere else. Everything is so tightly packed together. There's houses on top of houses on top of houses. There's like single file little alleys between all these houses. Sometimes there's an actual proper street where like 3 or 4 people can walk side by side, but so many of like the houses you could dip and dive in and out of, and sometimes you'd have to like literally turn sideways in order to get through. Sometimes you even see buildings where like they've got a window that is opening outwards and like immediately like hitting the building next to it. It's like, what the fuck's the point in that? You get the feeling that a lot of this place has not been built with a lot of care, but with a lot of function over anything else. It's just a matter of getting as many places built for the people to live here. You start walking further and further down this main street, you are seeing a lot more people. The roads get very busy. It was pretty decently busy at the cross already, with, you know, all the carts going back and forth, things going in and out of the Merchants Guild, people into the Adventurers Guild, into the Ladies' Garden, all that. But here it's just a mass of people. Just like... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Just think, I don't think we're heading all the way down there yet. I think we're heading to the church first.
Oh, you're going to the church first?
It makes sense. It's on the way. It makes sense to go there quickly first, I think.
Okay. So, Zinni, you heading to the church, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. You take a little right down this street, and you walk a good bit into the residential housing areas. And just around the corner, you see ahead of you a building that looks more or less completely ruined. Nowhere near as ruined as the tiny little bits of foundation that you saw in Espark Hills, but you can see the remnants of a building. There's like a little part where the roof is still intact, but for the most part it's just walls, bare stone, no door obviously, and just like a lot of rubble still all over the ground. This definitely is the ruined building that was pointed out on the map, but there's nothing as far as you can tell denoting this from any other building, but that might just be because it's all been lost to time.
I just asked Zinni, so what are you looking for here again?
I don't really know. Sprigget just told me that a paladin started building this at one point. I'm just kind of hoping that I will get a few more answers here. Does Zinni like feel anything, or?
Are you gonna head inside the ruins?
Yeah, we can approach.
So as you approach them, but don't head inside just yet, there isn't really a lot of people around and on the street here. No one's sort of really looking at you or anything. You sort of just stood in front of these ruins, not really seeing what's going on. Both of you roll me perception checks.
One sec. I don't have my character sheet open.
Whew, okay. As you both start to like scan the walls and whatever's left of this place, you see that like so much of this place has just been beaten down, and it's hard to really tell what did this, and how it became so ruined, whether it was like an actual acting event that caused it, or if it was more just passage of time itself. Because you weren't told by Spriggett how long ago this religious missionary was here, and when he built this place. Not a lot of the materials look that weathered, but there are parts, Zinni, that you can see where bits of the wooden foundation don't... where they sort of end and break off, parts of it look sort of like splintered, giving the vibe that it wasn't necessarily like burned it down or just slowly fell apart. It looks like this was deliberately sort of like broken at some point. And the other thing that you notice with your 20 roll is that just inside the door frame, where the doors would have been, there is some kinds of etchings into the ground. Can't really make out what at this point.
Like, just be... is it at the door, or is it like
inside the door?
It starts at the door?
Yeah, it starts at the door frame and then goes inside.
Okay. Can we go towards the door?
Sure. As you approach the church, you feel a gentle breath of wind sort of slowly breeze towards you, and sort of like you feel it, and as it hits you, just a quick chill is sent down both of your spines. You're now at the door looking in. There's no furniture whatsoever on the inside. This has been picked clean, and a lot of the walls and little sort of separating like bits of foundation, a lot of it's been broken down.
And do the etchings continue throughout?
Not as far as you can see. There are the etchings on the floor immediately, but running down from where the doorframe is, it looks like there's sort of lines on the ground that would look to be sort of like an outline for whatever this etching is, but the outline starts to fade as it gets a bit further in. It's only about about a meter long, how long you would expect these etchings to go in, just from like proportions of like how this is looking, how this is curving in. But it fades after like a quarter of a meter, and so the rest of it is sort of like all scratched up and scuffed. But there is sort of like the base of the etchings of whatever this sort of like etching was meant to be. If the two of you are here and you want to try and look at it and inspect it and figure out what it is, roll me an investigation check.
The etchings, does it look like language sort of thing, or is it just like...
It's definitely more imagery than language. Okay. Zinni, with your 17, it's really hard to make out. Again, like, this is just open to the elements. You don't know what's happened to sort of bring this place down, but it's like decimated everything else. It's only because this is so close to the door. This has probably been somewhat spared from whatever chaos happened internally. Again, you only have like about a quarter of what's probably the whole image. And as you look at it and you try to like picture it and like see from different angles, you try to like discern what is part of the etchings compared to what is just scratches that have been made into the ground. As you sort of take it in, it looks like it's going to be some kind of like logo or iconography or imagery or something. And with your 17, best that you could divine, so like, that scratch, that's new as well, that's not part of it. That one definitely looks like it should be there. As you try to like step back and sort of like close one eye and just look at it and just really try to like imagine what the rest of it looks like. It's all lining up, and this looks about like it's like the roots of a tree. You don't know what happens past it, because again, it just completely fades. And just is the ground is all worked up, and in some places just straight up cracked and broken. But like the bottom here that's closest to the door looks like roots to a tree.
And Russ, have you ever seen something like this before?
I mean, looks like a tree. I don't. Nothing other than that.
Yeah, I can kind of see what you're saying. It's difficult to make it out though. I'm wondering if Sprigget might know what this is.
Yeah, if you want to like scribble it down what it looks like in the journal, in a journal or something. Yeah, we can ask people about it.
That's a good idea, I'll do that.
Okay. You scratch down on a little notepad that you've got yourself, just like the sort of like outlines of like where the roots are, just about how big it is. There's like one part where one of the roots overlaps over the others, but you get like a fairly accurate little scratching of it.
So just for as well, could I cast levitate on myself and sort of get like a bird's eye view of it to see if I can make anything more out of it?
Out of the building itself, or
Out of the etchings and such?
The etchings, you already know, even if you did attempt that, there is nothing more, because like past like the 1/4 mark of where it would be, it's just faded and cracked and gone. There like basically is no etchings past that point.
Are there any other bits? Are there any other like little rooms that we could look into, or is there anything of interest around that?
Do you want to
investigate?
step in and go look further?
Yeah.
As you step in and you pass through the door frame, you hear a little, like a sort of like the sound of like wood being sort of like bent, and sort of like when it's sort of a bit of pressure's being put on it, or like a tree's swaying in the wind a bit too hard, and you hear that sort of wood groaning sound. As you're taking a look inside, again, like there's only like a very little part of it where even the roof is available, but it's all sort of like just the bottom halves of walls and sort of like little bits around. The one thing you do notice is there is a section of a wall where it looks like there was some kind of banner sort of like nailed into the wall, but you only find like a little tiny tearing of the corner that's like kept under the nail where the rest of the banner was torn off. It's some kind of brownish coloured cloth. Past that, there really is nothing.
The etchings on the floor, are they literally like etched into the wood, or is it like paint? Is it like stained into the wood, or
it's etched into the stone?
Stone. Okay.
Something that was likely done with hammer and chisel.
Okay. And there's nothing else around? There's no other places we can...
There is like... Well, I mean, looking at the foundation, there is something that looks like it would have been like a side room, but you can see into it because like the wall is like broken down. You can only make out like probably where the door would have been to it. But it's just for the most part broken down. There's some little parts of like loose stone and some like splinters of wood occasionally, but like there really isn't much to what's left.
And it's light enough for us to like see everywhere. There's no like hidden dark corners or anything. Is there?
Yeah, this is like early morning. There's good light in here.
Can I detect magic in here?
Absolutely, go for it. Yeah.
Can I just ask, does this use... Can you remind me what uses a spell slot?
Anything that's under that level of spell. So detect magic is a first level spell. You can use first or above spell slots for it, but since it's level, you probably want to just use level 1 because you can save your level 2s for better things.
So it doesn't use a spell slot? Or
It does because it's a level 1 spell. Only
There's
cantrips
some
don't use
spells
any.
that don't, right, though, that have a little symbol next to it.
So
Can't remember which ones.
the little thing you have in brackets next to the spell name just means that you always have that spell prepared. It still costs a spell slot if you use it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. So,
I will do that.
using this detect magic. Actually, hold on. Is detect magic a ritual spell? Let me just double check this for you. Sorry.
Detect evil and good.
Oh, that's the wrong one. Detect magic's the one I wanted.
I think it can be cast as an action or a ritual.
Concentration up to 10 minutes.
Oh, it is a ritual. Okay, I didn't. Yeah, it is. It is in there as a ritual. So you can save yourself a spell slot if you want, and concentrate for 10 minutes. That's not part of that, but a ritual spell you can, if you take like 5-ish minutes, you can cast a spell without using a spell slot.
Okay, let's do that.
Right.
And then I keep my slot?
You do get to keep your slot, but you do get to cast it. So there are very few spells that allow you to ritually cast it, but actually I can see here, next to the little information icon, the eye on the line, there's a little R. That's the ritual spell. So there's only very few spells that can be cast ritually, but that is one of them.
Okay.
So, as you cast detect magic, and your vision slightly glazes over, and you get a slightly sort of like, it's like if you turn down the saturation slightly as you looked at things. And this is a part where, because you've used detect magic before, usually things would glow with a brightish sort of like pinkish purple, if there was something magic around. As you scan and look around this whole place, there is not a single magical thing here whatsoever. There is nothing magical about this.
Andros, do you by chance have that skull?
I do. Do you want it for some reason?
Well, the last time I had it, I had a vision, so I'm wondering if I don't know, something here might give me more clarity on what my visions meant.
Okay, I mean, here it is. Just don't go waving it about in case anyone walks past. Hand it over.
So I take the skull and I hold it in both hands and I sort of stare at it and kind of hope that something will happen in the same way that it did last time.
As you stare into this lifeless skull, looking into what used to be a person, a lot of emotions passing around in your head, a lot of things swimming here and there. For a long, long time, nothing happens, and you're just staring into the skull. You start to feel a little awkward because Andros is probably like looking at you. You don't want to turn and look, but he's probably looking at you. This looks weird.
I just say, okay, I'll give you a minute, and I just sort of walk and stand outside the church.
You take a moment, several moments, a couple minutes pass. Nothing's really happening. And just as you're about to turn around and give up. A slight smell catches your nose, sorry.
Wait, what?
Sorry. A slight smell catches your nose. Some sort of flowery smell. And then it's gone in an instant.
Do I recognize it?
Roll me an intelligence check.
Intelligent. One?
Just a
This
general
one?
intelligence. Yeah, that's good. You do not recognize this smell. I have to say was, because it's fleeting. It was gone in a split second. It was very, like a deep flowery smell. But it's gone in an instant. Andros, as you walked out of the building, while Zinni's in there, something that you pick up and notice is that one of the buildings opposite the church, there is a man stood in his doorway, with his door closed behind him, leaning up against the door, with his arms folded, and he's looking over at your direction quite shiftily.
How far away is he?
Probably like 150 feet. It's a good bit of like space around here.
Okay, I won't go up to him yet. I'll wait for Zinni to finish.
Okay. So Zinni, after that smell of some kind of flower, what you doing?
I sort of whisper to myself, or I guess have an internal dialogue, hoping that something can hear what I'm saying, but I don't want to say it out loud because I'm shy.
If in game you want to say something not out loud to the other players, you can just write it to me in a DM.
No, I'm just trying to think what I would want to say
Okay.
in this situation, but maybe just like, please help me understand what all of this means.
While all this is going on, I'm still just keeping an eye on the guy in case he moves away,
Okay.
without trying to be too obvious if I can see him.
Zinni, as you let this thought out, try to push it out into the world in hoping that something will grasp it and listen to it. You are met with radio silence. Nothing responds. Your instinct to try and push this thought out into the ether, it just feels like it fizzles into nothing.
I let out a sigh. I'm a little bit disappointed. And then I go out to Andros, hand him back the skull and just say, nothing really happened.
Okay, well, while you've been in there, the guy over, and I sort of kind of point over to where the building is. The guy over there's been keeping an eye on us. Might be worth having a chat with him.
Okay.
So both of you walk over to him?
Yep.
It feels like a long walk over, because it's like, he's looking directly at you, it's like 150 feet. It's like, takes like a good 30 seconds of you walking in his direction, and him just continually staring at you. Eventually, you get up close, What are you lot up to then?
Oh,
Hi.
Sorry.
Oh, go.
Yeah.
Go, you spotted him. You should talk to him, I think.
Oh, I mean, I'm just gonna say, yeah, hi, we're new to the city, just taking in the sights.
Ain't no sights to be seen in there, mate.
I mean, curious is a like partially destroyed building, and yeah, you'd think it would have been rebuilt or something.
Aye, and asbestos stays destroyed it is.
Not a fan of the architecture.
Not a fan of the man who built it. Lot of bad energy in that place. Don't want to be messing with it.
Sorry, I'm struggling to keep up.
He narrows his eyes at both of you, seemingly taking in every single part of you and trying to commit every part of your visage to memory.
What did he
Oh.
say? I'm not a fan of the guy who built it. A lot of bad energy.
Mm-hmm.
So, you knew the man who built this building?
Aye, I was around when he came. He built it. And then when that happened to it,
What happened?
feller went mad. Claimed all these big things about big invisible super powerful beings in the sky. Said he was building some kind of... what do you call it again? Church it was. Never heard nothing like it before. About a month or two after he built it, feller went mad. Started breaking the whole place. And I watched him slit his throat with a splintered wood outside the front door and collapse onto the floor. It's about, what, 8 years ago now?
Wait, so after he built it, the fellow went mad.
Started
And
breaking
then-
everything and then slit his throat with a piece of wood. Like a jagged little pseudo shiv.
That sounds horrific.
Aye, it were. Scarred me
Eh,
kids'
eh, yeah.
lives.
Any idea why he went mad? I can't imagine it's a common occurrence to.
He was a weird feller. Didn't seem mad when he first came. But, what's it to you though? Been 80 odd years and no one's come looking at this place before. No you. What's it to you then?
Well, we heard about this place from a gnome in the uppers. And he told us that essentially what you've just told us, that a paladin was building a church here.
What's a paladin?
That's a great question.
Don't need
yeah,
none of your
I guess
made up
it's,
mumbo jumbo, he was just a lad.
I guess it's like what people who build churches call themselves.
Well, you just call them architects, do we? Whatever. Sorry, go on.
But as you mentioned, he believed in beings in the sky, and that's sort of, from what I understand, is part of what being a paladin is.
Believing in a bunch of old hooky. I won't have nothing about it. More important things are running on the ground, even if they are real, you know?
So was it just him that was building it? Was nobody helping him?
Aye, only him. Did it all by hand as well. It was impressive.
Do you know where he stayed?
In there, he had his own little quarters and everything.
Do you know if anyone was close to the chap who built it?
I talked to him a bit, because you know, anyone in the neighbourhood this new, you gotta make friends with them, otherwise he'll probably rob you. But as far as I figured, he was new to the island. Only he decided to come live here, which was weird. Nobody ever really does that. But he came, bought his little spot, and started building. I always used to tune out what he said about them big powerful beings and that, because it was all nonsense, obviously. Like, he didn't seem mad at the time when I was speaking to him. But you know, madmen can blend into society really well. But then something happened, something snapped, it must have been, and offed his building on himself.
And no one knows what led to this.
Led to him going mad? Who could tell? He's a lonely guy from what I figured. No one ever came to his place. Oh, I do remember now. He would always try to get people to come inside and, like... Oh, what was that word for it now? Oh.
Pray?
That's it, yeah! He always asked people to come inside and send their prayers. Don't know what he meant.
Sounds like a lunatic to me.
He sort of was. Well, I mean, like, any other time you speak to him about anything else, you seem like a normal guy. But then he starts talking about his big beings. Just a lot of mumbo jumbo.
We've also just learned of this pray word and are trying to figure out what it means. Did he ever tell you?
I'm sure he might have, but I didn't pay much attention. He prayed all the time. Look where he ended up. Can't have been that good for him.
Hmm.
It's a shame, that. He a good looking feller too. Might have found a nice bird if he tried to be normal for once.
Do you know where they buried him?
Oh, he just got burned up at the mortuary. I don't think anyone ever even went. Don't even know what they did with his ashes.
Okay.
What's your name, sorry?
My name
Yeah.
is Bort.
Bort.
What a name.
Oh, you started.
It's nice to meet you. I'm Zinni.
Well, it's nice to meet you too, Zinni. And he holds out his hand to shake.
I shake his hand.
Port.
And this is and I point to Andros, but I don't say his name because he loves giving fake names.
Oh.
Do you want to say a name, Andros?
No, I'm good.
See, and this is, and just dead silence.
I look at Andros really awkwardly and I'm just like. Anyway, we appreciate you chatting with us. We're gonna be headed down to the jewel
Oh, it's no problem, my
shortly.
love. Give Barry the best for me. He's a decent enough feller. Haven't seen him in a while.
Oh, that's good to know. I'm
Sure,
glad.
he'll be happy seeing a cute girl like you coming into his bar. He don't get nothing but scoundrels usually.
Oh, can you do us a favour, actually? So I understand there's the twins, which are 2 inns at either side. Do you know
yeah.
which one the jewel is?
Jewel is the one closer to the mound. And he points to the big,
Okay.
giant cliff face.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
No problem, man. Well, it was nice speaking to you.
And you?
Take care of yourselves, then. And he unfolds his hand, undoes the door without turning around, and then steps back into his house.
Anything else you want to check out while we're here, Zinni, or good to carry on to the jewel?
I think we can go to the jewel. But once all this is done, I think it would be good to talk to Sprigget again, because just so many unanswered questions.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. And before we head off, I just use disguise self to kind of just look like a vagabond.
Okay. As you guys begin to make your way towards the twins, you're going to switch back up again to Trenny's artistry and cartography. And we join back with Anxie, Baylor, and Cedric, as you guys are in front of this nice fancy art store.
Would you mind if I go quickly in and check if they have any masks or can prepare something?
Yeah, of course. This looks like a good place for that.
Lovely.
Fine with me.
I enter the store if it's not closed.
Ping, ding,
Closed.
ding, 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 ding. Door opens. There's a couple
Hello.
people in here looking around at like the different sort of like paintings and little sort of like miniature statues and all these sorts of things. And you do see Trenny behind the desk, whom you bought the map from.
Awesome. I go towards her if she's not busy with anything.
She isn't currently, no.
Lovely. Hello. I don't know if you remember us. We bought a map from you and it's been extremely helpful.
Oh, I don't remember, but thank you. It's takes a lot of work, those things. Everything drawn by hand, but people always need them to get around, even if the place is real simple with the big spiral,
I mean, it's been a huge help for us. I'd like to ask whether you would be interested in making a mask of sorts, something to cover my face in a similar color scheme to my skin color.
Yeah, I can definitely do that. It's just more of a question. What material would you want it to be? Would it be wood? Would it be paper mache? Would it be maybe even metal? But like, it's maybe not my specialty.
What would be the easiest for you? I'd like something made just to cover my features.
Well, a wooden mask could do very nicely. It could get sand down, be very smooth, of course, with any kind of like lacquer that I could like put on it. But it'd be quite rigid then if that's the case. I'm not sure what you want the mask for.
So the use of the mask is that our group has been already gathering some looks and people are starting to know us, and I'd like to keep myself a bit more hidden.
Sure. Okay, it's just for that kind of stuff. Yeah, sure. Would you mind if I take some measurements of your head?
Oh yeah, of course. Can the wood be colored in the same color as my face? Would that be possible?
As your skin tone? Yeah, I can definitely manage that.
Lovely.
So she brings out a little tape measure and just and starts noting down. As she's sort of like holding the tape up to your face, she's like, hang on, I think I recognize you. I'm sure. Sorry, I'm right there. I'm sure I've seen you somewhere. I know you said you built a map here. No, I don't mean. You were on the sign for the arena.
Yeah.
Oh, you're part of the Saviors of Edgewood! She says very loudly, and everyone else in the shop turns and looks at you.
You see, that's exactly why I need a mask.
Oh, sorry. Look away. Mistaken identity. Sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And you watch as everyone around just sort of like turns and looks back to the things they were doing. Sorry. I get it now. Mask. I remember what your skin looks like. I can make that. Oh shit! I just drew on myself. Oh no. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a bit of a mess. It'd take me a couple days. Probably only be about a gold, but it's just not more time more than anything else. I haven't pinned myself recently.
That's totally fine. It would be done before the arena, right?
When's that?
In 8 days.
Yeah.
8
Definitely be
moons,
done
whatever.
in 8 days. Yeah. Sure.
Awesome. That would be amazing. Would you like me to pay now or in completion?
I'd like it. I had to close up shop a couple of days recently, so I've not maybe got as much
Of course.
backlog pay to pay for the materials. So yeah, if you'd be comfortable.
I give her 2 gold, and I thank her in advance.
Oh, thanks a lot. I'll get to work on it straight away.
Okay, guys, we can continue further.
Whew. Okay.
As we're then walking up the road, I'm going to turn to Anxie and Anxie,
Yes.
would you be able to send a message to the druids for me, please?
Of course. Would you like me to do it now?
If you don't mind, or we can do it later. It's up to you. But I'm just a little bit worried because I sent them some animal messages a few days ago, and I've not had a response yet. So I'm starting to get a bit worried. Just want to check in and make sure they're okay.
Of course. You just have to tell me to which one of our friends you want me to send a message to.
It will be to Faustina, the
Okay.
the bunny druid.
Of course. It would be amazing if you prepare what exactly you want to be said, since the messages I can send are rather short, and they have to be extremely clear.
I hand Anxie a note with the message on it.
Awesome.
Okay.
Is it 25 words?
Yeah, I've sent it to you on Discord.
All right. Once we are in like rather obscure area, I would like to cast Sending to Faustina.
The main road here is very, very busy, but you could like slip into an alley briefly, just in between two houses, just for a bit more peace while you cast the spell.
Of course, I'd love to do that.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, it's Anxie, Baylor's friend. Sent some birds messengers, but got no response. Is everything alright? At the Ever Splendor. Quite worried. Yay.
The message gets sent out into the ether. And as you sort of like feel the message somewhat connected to you as it gets sent out. You hear back just a... like the sound of just a lot of leaves brushing together very quickly. Like there's like whenever you're near a forest and the wind starts blowing very hard, just the kind of like and the sort of like staticky sound just bounces back at you, and it causes like you get like a twitch in the back of your head that feels really weird, and you feel that the sending didn't find its place.
I'm sorry to worry you, Baylor, but I don't think my message got to them. I felt rather weird once I sent it. There were like, you know, the feeling of leaves being blown by the wind and static noises.
That's a little bit worrying, even more worrying. I'm not sure what to do.
I could try to send a message to Lamien as well. Maybe she receives it.
If you don't mind, I'd really appreciate that.
Okay, I'll try with Lamien.
The same message again?
Yes, I'll try to do the same message. Exactly the same message. Should be easy enough.
Okay. You send out the message, mark off your second third level spell.
Yep.
And as you let the message go out into the ether, you once again feel that windy leaf static hit you, and you get another twinge in the back of your head.
So, same thing.
You feel the magic of the sending did not find its purchase.
None of them is receiving my message. Maybe there is a reason. Do you know if there's like some barrier in the forest that might be protecting it from any magic directed to the people that live there? I don't know.
Out of character, I'm not sure. Dax, is this something I would know?
At being posed this question, Baylor, can you roll me an intelligence check?
Can I guidance myself?
Yeah, sure.
Nice.
Ooh, nat 20!
I'll guidance anyway, just to see what we get.
Okay. Feels like it's been a while since you've seen a nat 20. As Anxie poses this question to you, immediately start to rip back into memories, try to recall any kind of information that was said about some kind of like magical prevention. You remember early in your time with the Druids, pretty soon after you arrived, there was times where you were very nervous, scared about the outside, scared of all the terrible creatures and animals in the forest. One memory sticks out in your brain of Adriellis telling you not to worry, and that the forest protects any and all in it, no matter the source. It's just a memory that sticks out to you. You don't know of anything exactly of like a literal magical barrier or anything like that. You've never been told anything to that effect. But that's the most prominent memory that's sticking out, that's like tangentially related.
I can't recall anything specific about any magical barrier, but I do know that the forest is protected, and that could be stopping the messages from getting through.
Yeah, let's hope that's what's happening.
Yeah.
obviously speaking out of character, is it worth messaging? I can't remember her name now, but the woman in the city. Yeah, Randy's husband. No, Randy's wife.
We have a sending stone for her.
Yeah, just thinking if the druid's like under attack or something, she might have like heard rumors about it or something.
She may
We
have. That's a
do.
good sign.
It's a good call.
Okay. I'll pull out the sending stone and I'm going to message Gwen and ask Gwen if she's heard anything.
So it's the same 25 message limit. Do you want to take time to get your exact 25 word message?
Give me a minute.
Okay.
By the way, I used my Pearl of Power, so I still have 1 level 3 spell.
Okay. Noted. It's interesting how the Pearl of Power resets at dawn. Things usually say the new day. Does that mean if the Pearl is in place where dawn doesn't happen, then it doesn't reset?
I'd hope not.
I would imagine so, because I mean, no dawn, no reset.
Yeah.
There is dawn here, though, right?
Yes.
Yes,
The dawn does happen
Oh.
on this planet.
I mean, unless Dax is planning to blow up the sun or something.
I spent so much money on shit I'll never use. If that was the case for the Pearl of Power, I was gonna be so mad.
Oh, you can't even, you should see my character sheet. I've got so many useless stuff.
Tell me about it. I have a potion of speed for 200 gold, and I can fucking cast haste.
I have Cloak of Billowing, Horn of Silent Alarm, Wand of Smiles.
Love that.
Anxie,
Yeah.
as you are... So, just before you say this, Bill, as you are like thumbing this over and was just thinking about your Pearl of Power, you remember reading something in a book at once. Obviously, Zemir has dawn, day, and dusk, you know, the natural 3 cycles of any day. But you remember the Phalanx don't. They're always in a perpetual state of twilight. They don't have a day-night cycle there. The Pearl of Power must probably not work there. Well, it works, but it doesn't have a reset.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I look. My expression on my face is like, oh god, that's actually so curious. And I'm definitely not just writing it down.
It would be interesting to look into why the Pearl of Power needs a dawn to reset.
So, Baylor, you done with your message?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I pull out the sending stone. I rub my hand over the front of the stone, and I hold it up to my mouth and send a message to Gwen, to the other stone. Hi, Gwen. Hope you're well. We are in Relhathid. Have you heard of any attacks on the forest or the druids?
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, the message has been sent.
Sid witnesses this, right? And he turns to Sizzle, who's still on his shoulder, and he puts his hand in front of his mouth, and he goes, "He's talking to a stone. Is he okay, you think?"
The stone sends magical messages. We'd used that before, remember?
No. Okay.
Do I see that?
Roll a perception check. With advantage, he's probably not doing it sneakily.
I mean, just a thought as well. What happens if the sending stone doesn't respond
Okay.
or work?
As far as you recall, how sending stones work is that you send a message into it, and until the person then picks up and decides to listen to the sending stone, that's when they'll respond. So the person could just...
What I mean is like the implication of like has like the entire place blown up. Like, is there nobody responding because no one's there alive?
You don't know.
I mean, how would we know, right?
You know that the message has left the stone, and it hasn't like had any static feedback returning it, so you know the message has reached the other stone. And yes, Angsi, you did notice Cedric quite undiscreetly whispering to Sizzle.
I would like to use telepathic speech on Cedric.
Okay.
Hello, Sid. It's your imaginary friend speaking. Baylor does seem a bit weird today. Maybe he's seeing things, don't you think? Maybe he's not feeling well.
She just kind of looks up, a bit confused, thinking it's his inner thoughts. Also thinking, very strange, whenever he has like some inner thoughts, it sounds like Anxie for some reason. And he looks at Baylor, kind of confused and worrisome. But at the same time, he's also looking around him, looking at the rocks around him, thinking they're listening. And he's a bit paranoid, basically, a bit like, he takes a. He basically swallows. And. Yeah, he does not do anything, but he's a bit on guard right now. Like.
The rocks are out to get you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Is anything happening?
What do you mean happening?
Gwen receiving anything?
No response on the sending stone yet. It'll vibrate and glow
Yes.
when it has a response.
Well, shall we go then?
Yeah, let's move on.
Would you like us to go back to the forest and check on our friends if we don't get in touch soon?
Yes, definitely yes.
Okay.
I'm quite worried.
Yes, we can definitely do that. How long is the path there? Like, is it more than 4 days?
I think it's like 2 days. It's a day's travel to Rel Nibblegup, and then from Rel Nibblegup another day's travel to Edgewood, which is on the edge of the
Okay.
forest.
We would
But
have
even
time,
from
but-
Ralnibug you'd be able to see the forest because it's relatively flat lands.
Okay. Then we start heading to the uppers, I suppose. I hope everyone's dressed as they're supposed to.
Yeah. Still wearing my uppers uniform.
Okay. So, you guys walk around and head on up to the uppers. You guys make it to the divide with the staircase. The first thing that you notice is that the statue on the right has now been vandalized as well. There was just the one on the left at first, but now the one on the right of the staircase has also just got this weird contorted face like it's eaten the sourest lemon it's ever eaten.
Oh. Question to the group. Did we actually know that one of these statues is vandalized? Wasn't it only in the park?
Nope, it was the one on the left here. There was the first one you saw at least.
Huh.
And then when you went to the
didn't
park
take
you saw the
note of
other
it.
two as well.
But yeah, I only remember the ones from the park, so
Same. I had no fucking idea that this one was vandalized as well.
Well, now you know.
Weird. Okay. It seems the same as the ones in the park, I would assume.
It's of similar ilk. These are two dwarves with great axes over their shoulders, so like looking stalwart into the distance. As you walk up to the stairs, there are two guards at the bottom of the stairs who give you a look over. They take a look at your group. Hey, you lot. What are you heading up there for?
Don't we look like we are supposed to be there?
Two of you do.
So Cedric doesn't. Is that what you're saying?
He's a big green orc with a big battle axe.
Fair. Hello, gentlemen. We've taken a job from the Adventurers Guild, and we are trying to follow up on its trace, basically.
All right.
Going...
Who are you? Who's the commission from?
Second. The commission is from Leonard Topblossom.
Oh, yeah. I know him. What? Where does he live again?
7 Apex Terrace.
Apex Terrace. That'll be. He points at like this. Because you can just about see over the wall. He points at this block of houses. And he says, "They're not in this one. The one's just further over, closer to the wall."
Okay, thank you very much. That's gonna be actually very helpful.
No problem. I'm glad I could help you. Head on up.
Thank you.
So, you guys head on up the stairs, and you are now in the uppers.
Yeah.
Where are you heading?
Towards this guy's home, I would assume, since it's the closest.
Okay. Heading straight
Right
to Apex
here?
Terrace then.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, excuse me, you head on over to Apex Terrace. It's nicely and clearly signed. Everything about this looks genuinely immaculate. All the buildings look so unbelievably clean. The grass thing that you walk next to here with the beautiful bushes on top of where the walls are, or are the walls from down below. From here it's just the ground. Trees, there's not even like a stray stick on the ground. Everything looks like it's so perfectly taken care of. You start to make your way and walk around these like little groups of houses, and you eventually see a building that has 7, 8, and 9 Apex Terrace.
This looks like the right one.
I guess so. Shall we knock on the door then?
Yeah.
As you look at 7, 8, and 9 on the signs, there are small little buttons next to each one of them.
What are those?
Got no idea. It's buttons, apparently. Do we know what this is, basically? Do bells exist?
You have no clue what the fuck they are. They look pressable, though.
Never really seen one, but maybe that's how we get in touch with the person that lives in there. Sid, would you like to press the button next to 7? Guess what?
Puzzled silence from
I was-
Cedric.
No. I was peeing.
Oh,
With my headset on, which is wireless. Just letting you know.
Sid, you've been asked to press the number 7, but you don't.
No. So once that's being asked of me, right? I kind of look angsty with a raised eyebrow, and my eyes are squinty. I'm trying to look intelligent right now. That's what I'm kind of doing. But
oh
it's quite
no.
And I put my finger on my lip, and I look upwards. Huh. Looks like we have our first mystery to solve. I look at the buttons and I approach it, with Sissel also like on my shoulder, looking very, inspectively. Is that a word?
I don't trust it.
And I lean over onto the buttons and I try to sniff the buttons to see which of the buttons has the most smell on it.
Oh no. Before he does anything.
No, I did that already.
He's in the process of sniffing, okay.
Yes. But before touching anything, I'd like to use a spell in order to... I wonder whether I would be able to hide the other 2 buttons with it, or maybe...
You cannot hide them. You can make a small mark or symbol appear next to one of them, though.
Okay, I would like to add a mark next to the 7.
Like a little
The
arrow.
7's button. Like a huge, well, yeah, a little arrow. I assume he can't read, so I won't add any letters. And it would be just the arrow basically leading to it.
That's
Okay.
cool, but I am sniffing it, and I did roll 4 perception just now.
So, Sid, as
Oh,
you
God.
lean in and you sniff all the buttons, all of them smell different. One of them smells just like a little oily. One of them smells like a little perfumey. And one of them smells like bacon.
Oh god.
I lean back, and I look at the buttons. There's 4 things I've noticed. One smells flowery. The other one smells bacony. And the other one smells oily. Also, one button is glowing really strangely, which is...
One's button's just got like an arrow pointing at
I
it.
don't
Wait.
know what I... Well, do those smells tell us anything?
Which one smell? Okay, Sid, that's very helpful. The button that's glowing. What does it smell like?
I lean back in.
The
Do I need
button
to do
that's
another
got
perception?
the glowing
Yeah.
arrow next to it is the one that smells flowery.
Smells like flowers.
Sid, you've just solved an insane mystery. The guy we are doing the job for, his name is Leonard Topblossom. It is related to flowers. That must be it.
Alright, well, it wasn't an insane mystery. It's simply the power of deduction. So I push the
Right.
button.
You push the button that's got the glowing mark next to it, and you hear a ding dong coming from inside the building. At that point, we're just going to take a quick 5-minute break.
I don't know how Sid turned in Sherlock Holmes, but I fucking love it.
I loved every second of that tiny little interaction.
I wanted him to do something, but then I was like, oh no, that's Cedric. He's gonna press all of them.
No, like it's all up to Dex to like explain what I'm smelling, and then I don't know what will happen, you know.
Yeah.
If you didn't ask which one was which, I was just going to roll a d4 to decide which one you pressed.
Yeah, I know. That's why I tried to interject, because I was like, oh fuck.
No, it's like Sid is dumb as fuck, but he has a good sense of smell,
Mhm.
and he
Yeah.
thinks, you know, like I think it was in character to still ask, like, okay, guys, this is what I deduced. What do you think? You
That's
know?
awesome.
Yeah, and then you still kind of get to the right thing, but in a very fun way.
Dude, Scup, what the hell is that puppy doing?
Playing.
Boy's going mad back there. He's just like
Yes,
knocking some balls around or something.
Yeah, so whenever a ball is empty, he loves playing with it. And yeah, and then it gets stuck underneath furniture, and then he just keeps like smacking it, pushing it. But I'm fine with it because it keeps him busy, right? Like I'm like nothing.
Hell
gets
yeah.
hurt. It just makes a lot of noise. Yeah, I'm talking about you, you little shit. He's looking at me. No, he's back at it.
Alright. I'm gonna take a bio breaker real quick and we'll be back in a sec.
It's funny when he runs around with a ball in his mouth, though.
Yo yo.
Yo.
Whew.
That's you make me really worried.
I'm making you really worried?
Yeah.
How so?
Oh, you know. The druids.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's actually. Because my mind instantly went to like, oh, they're dead.
Yeah, I thought as well.
Like, my actual heart sank in my chest when that message.
No.
Oh no. Bro is invested.
Who's invested?
Shift. Ruining his fucking day by not not telling him the druids are safe. Oh, okay. Is everyone back?
Yeah.
Also, by the way, Jay did actually confirm to me in DMs that I did mention the first statue in the previous session. So it wasn't just my imagination. Apparently, I also ruined Jay's day by not letting him answer as Lamien.
But not answering what?
By not answering as Lamien. Because I would have him just come into call and answer back.
Right.
Right, if everyone's here, we come back at the ding dong. Some sort of a bell sounds from inside the building. About a minute later, and after some moving about from inside the building, you see as the door has a couple of doorknobs actually, and one lower to the ground opens, and you see before you a gnomish man. Little older, but still full head of hair, slicked back, and cut just at the nape of his neck. Black with like silvery bits all running down it. A very, very prim and proper mustache, curled at the ends even. He looks up to you. Yes? How may I help you?
Hello. We took a job from the Adventurers Guild, and it led us to here.
Right here. Come right in. And he opens the door wider for you, and stands to the side of it and gestures you inwards.
I follow.
He just gestures you into the building. The other two of you going in as well?
Yeah. Still with my eyes squinting and one eyebrow upwards, scanning the area.
As you walk past Sid, you watch as this guy sort of like sees you tower and like walk up. He's just. You see a sort of like worried look on his face. You go in. He closes the door behind you. It's just in that room there. And he points at a door. You guys all shuffle through. You come into a nice little living room. A nice, fancy, delicate-looking table with a couple of sofas at either side of it. Very nice glass windows and beautiful sort of like white and gold trim curtains. Please take a seat.
you've got a lovely place.
Thank you. Yes.
And I sit down.
So, I presume yourselves to be adventurers?
We are
Yes.
indeed.
Good, good. I am Leonard Topblossom, and I am obviously commissioning yourselves to help with a small matter of vandalism. I presume you've read the commission, and I presume as well that you've also seen the statues around the city being vandalized.
You assume correctly.
Oh, okay. This has been going for quite a while now, and I'm looking to pay yourselves 200 gold to find the person responsible and bring them to justice.
Gold is of no interest to us, sir. We are just here for the mystery to solve. Is that right, Dr. Sizzle?
He watches as the dragon next to him sits on his bum, folds its arms, and nods at him, and he just... Ooh.
Since our orc friend doesn't really like goat, the rest of our group would love to be paid.
Right.
However, yes. However, I'd like to ask a few things.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
You mentioned that you want us to find the person responsible for this vandalism and then bring them to justice.
Yes,
How?
you must bring them to the town's guard, for the town's guard have attempted to bring this person to justice themselves and have failed
Right.
to do so. It is your mission to find said person and ensure that they do no more again by bringing them to justice.
And do you have any extra information on anything related to the job? Have you
Yes,
seen
quite
any...
in fact. The guards have done minor investigations themselves, all of which I have found to be lacking in competency. What it is your task to do, as I said, to find the person involved, but what I have gathered so far is that the defacing of the statues is being done by some kind of magical means, and it's
Yes.
preposterous the positions they leave them in, and the unruly Masons Guild are taking no responsibility and are taking all too long and not a timely manner in restoring the statues. This is leaving the rest of the city to be a deep laughingstock among any other newcomers to the city and any tourists and perusers from other places around. And, I need not expand upon why that is such a bad thing.
Sid stands up abruptly. Is there a window somewhere in the room?
Yes, there's 2 windows.
He walks up to one of the windows to peer out of it, and he turns around just his head, and he kind of towards the guy, and he goes,
So you're saying this is a magical issue, my dear chap?
We already knew that's it.
Have you considered, though, since we're talking about stone statues, that the mystery actually involves a mischievous stone mason? So my next question is, are there any stonemason guilds in this city?
Yes, I said just a second ago that the Masons Guild are doing little to nothing about the statues. The guards, of course, did interview and talk with the Masons. They did have leads, but seem to have decided to not follow them. From what I have uncovered, one of the most famed Masons in the Masons Guild recently and abruptly retired about a day before these defacings started occurring. They claim to have questioned him, and though he is obviously the prime suspect, and quite clearly the person who's likely to have done this, they haven't done anything about him, nor tried to imprison him to prevent him from doing any further.
Sid grabs a pipe out of his pocket and lights it. He looks at Agsy and Baylor, and he goes,
It looks like we found a first lead, chaps. A lead that we shall follow. Sir, I thank you for your time. Shall we go?
I look extremely embarrassed.
So the
Um,
gnome looks over to you, Anxie, just sort of like he's keeping a stone face, but he's like looking at the orc and then back to you.
While that's happening,
Oh my god!
While
I put it
Cedric's
back,
having his
by the way.
while Cedric's having his coughing fit, I lean towards Leonard and I say quietly, "Don't worry, he's just our muscle."
Quiet.
Sorry. You made me. That's the water. Oh my, who smokes this stuff? What? I found this in the pocket, all the fancy stuff.
You
we-
can
we-
find
we
some
bought.
water in the kitchen, my good man.
Alright.
And I head off to the kitchen.
while that was happening, I cast telepathic speech on Baylor, and I've asked him whether he thinks that this job is worth our time, and whether he thinks we should take it.
It's not a lot of gold for the job, but it might earn us some reputation in the city.
Okay. I don't know, guys. Out of character, should we try to bargain? Like, how does one do that? Do we just accept it and leave?
I think we should try and bargain.
Would you mind doing it?
Okay, I'll try.
Okay, lovely.
So, Leonard,
Mhm.
you guys have put quite a lot of work into this already.
Well, thank you.
You've not-
Indeed, I have.
You've not seemed to got anywhere with that work.
There's little that I, as a civilian, am capable of doing outside of, extra legal means. I, of course,
course.
don't want to embarrass myself publicly by accusing the wrong person or doing anything rash of the sorts. But, needless to say, the guards have still not done their job, and that is why I'm commissioning yourselves in order to do so.
And this seems to be something quite important
Indeed,
to yourself
it is. It's
and
very
to the
important.
city as well.
Yes.
Can I ask why you're only offering 200 gold?
Only,
Seems a
my dear
fairly
chap.
low amount for something as important as this, where you're requiring adventures of our skill and fame.
My dear boy, excuse me. This commission was 5x the value of the next most expensive commission available in the Adventurers Guild at the time that I posted it.
I can appreciate that. However,
I am more than compensatory to your time.
it feels like we'll be spending quite a lot of time for quite a little amount of reward.
It's rather preposterous. I'm shocked that you would say such a thing.
I don't know what to say, Leonard. It's just we've done quite a lot of things. We've done quite a lot of tasks, and
From
we're used to
the other
getting.
room, you can kind of hear like a muffled.
It's the mystery, Leonard. The mystery.
Sorry about that, Leonard, but we are quite used to being paid a fair amount more for our time, and we're not.
Are you some
quite
kinds
sure.
of big shots or something? I should hardly see why anyone would be demanding such stupendously high amounts for an adventurous commission when it's already the most expensive one available.
Edgewood.
Excuse
What
me,
you
sir?
said. We are the heroes and the saviors of Edgewood.
Saviors of Edgewood, you say?
Yes.
But then you should be more than used to doing things of the public aid.
We are used to doing things with the public aid. However, we are also used to being compensated fairly for our time. And seeing as this investigation will take quite a bit of time and a bit of running around the city, it does feel like it is quite an underpaid commission. And we need to consider whether we would be wise in investing our time in this.
My good man, the average gentleman in the scrounge works for 2 silver a day. Are you saying a commission of 200 gold is not worth your time?
We are not from this ground.
Yes, but I'm
200
using it as
gold.
more of a benchmark. I feel that you are rather out of touch with reality, my good sir.
I would pose that to yourself, sir. It would seem that you may be out of touch with the cost of adventurers.
Preposterous. You dare to insult me in my own home. Absolutely
I'm not
ridiculous.
insulted, sir. Don't mean to insult at all. Just,
Don't mean to insult, my good man. You just called me delusional and out of touch with reality. I must expect that you would leave my house immediately and never come back. Please repost the commission you found into the Adventurers
Sid-
Guild, and I will find some people that would like to spend their time well
Sid
serving the
re-enters
public.
the room, and while he's cleaning his pipe.
Someone
Well,
cut out.
We'll leave in a second, sir. Obviously, we will. This is your house. You're the best of your house. But wouldn't you
Hello?
say magic is quite dangerous?
Of course, magic is absolutely very dangerous. Lord knows what manner of devious, malicious intent that the perpetrator could inflict if they decide to change from vandalism to actual carnage and terrorism.
That's a very intellectual thing to say, sir. So, in case...
Thank you, my
this
good
is a
man. I just
magical-
wished that your fellow comrade would share our worry.
Well, my fellow comrade is just worried about his friend's safety. You know, magic is dangerous, like you just confirmed. So we're doing a dangerous job here, sir, potentially. So, wouldn't you say that if this is a magical matter and we deduct this, we find this out, you could increase the rewards a little bit, especially if we find ourselves in dangerous situations in the end. All sounds very logical to me, sir.
And I put away my pipe.
Roll a persuasion check, Cedric.
I'd like to help by adding something. Also, sir, the time we'll be investing into that would basically stop us from working on other jobs that would be helping people. And I can see how one of your what the fuck is the word for that? Like level of society help
Your cast?
a caste or rank would be aware of the dangers of society that everyone out there is currently in, and how us not being out there to protect people would affect a lot of people.
Roll persuasion as well, Anxie.
Just a second. And since that's bad, I would like to use my lucky.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, thank God.
Oh.
Oh, that's that.
Right. I understand what it is that you're presenting me with. However, I know with good authority that I am indeed paying, and in fact overpaying, the usual adventurer's commission in raw gold value. Should you want, perhaps, something else, I'd be frankly unwilling to offer more, as I already know that I'm overpaying, but should you want some sort of professional favour I could maybe offer?
What kind?
What kind of professional favour would you might be interested in? I have a vested interest in seeing this individual brought to justice, and I should hope that you do so. So I'm willing to offer my professional favours.
Does he seem like a stand-up guy? Like one that wouldn't be talking out of his ass?
Roll me an insight check.
Decent.
He definitely seems like a person of high position. It's hard to divine exactly what his scale of that might be, but you see a person earnestly offering you to do what's within his means to achieve like a small favor that you might ask.
Okay.
He has posed the question to you, what kind of favor would you even be wanting?
It's something we can think of in the moment. So, the possibility of a favor from someone like you would be rather helpful to have. We will take that to the rest of our party members and decide on whether we are going to follow up on the job, since there are quite a few things we have to do in the meantime as well. I hope you understand that we are quite busy. However, if we don't have the time to bring that vendor to justice, we will return the job posting back to the Adventurers Guild. If not, we'll try to do our best to complete it and help the town get rid of such injustice.
I accept your terms and appreciate your earnestness. I can agree to such things and hope that you can find in your hearts to do the right thing for the public of this city. And I also wish that you can maybe teach your colleague some lessons in decorum.
I not. Well, thank you for your time and having you in your lovely home. We will have to leave now.
Of course. Let me show
Thank
you
you,
out.
sir. Your water was quite welcome, and it was exquisite. Yeah. All right.
Thank you, my good man. Now,
Let's go.
opens the door and gestures you out. As you guys are leaving, he calls to you. Oh, just in case, should you take on this commission, the name of the mason that is retired is Path Cragjaw. He's a half-orc, the one that retired that I told you about. Just in case you should decide to look into this further.
Thank you.
The plot thickens, Dr. Sizzle.
Can you repeat his name?
Door closes. Just Path Cragjaw. Boop.
A half orc.
Jesus. Yeah, almost.
I'd say that went as well as it could have gone with my charisma level.
I mean,
I don't know why you let Baylor take the wheel on that one.
well, I had to cough. I was in the kitchen.
Man's got 10 charisma. By the way, Sid, what did you actually drink from his kitchen, by the way?
Water.
You did actually get water, you didn't just grab the nearest bottle you saw and downed it?
No. I'm in detective mode. I'm all about the mystery right now.
Okay.
Nothing diverts my focus.
So I would have let you get away with just drinking anything you fucking wanted.
I thought about getting a snack at one point, but I was like, nah. It's fine. Like I'm honestly there in detective mode, thinking I'm the smartest man in the room.
Fair. Okay.
True, you saved our asses, kind of.
Honestly, the stonemason thing is like so fucking obvious. To just think like it has nothing to do with magic because my guy doesn't think about magic, right? And then it actually is the lead.
Oh my god.
I love it.
Baylor, I'm sorry for all that. This guy is not really worth our time.
It's okay. He might be able to give us a favor, and he might be able to get you into the institute.
I don't think so, but maybe depending on how powerful in this town he is, he might. A favor with him might help us get in touch with the Lord, or, get more information about how to help the druids.
Indeed. It's a favor in the pocket, and we can
Exactly.
use it at some point, perhaps.
Would you guys mind going to the magic store?
I would love to go to the magic store.
Okay. Sid, we're going shopping. And-
Alright, but after that we continue the mystery.
Oh, of course, of course. We start moving towards the magic shop. I would imagine we are swapping to the other group.
You would be correct. We are now panning back down to borders of the Scrounge. Zinni and Andros. As you are walking down this final stretch of the main road, the houses, like I said before, get denser and denser, and people get really, really packed in. But the two buildings that stand out the most prominently here are, what you believe are, or must be, the Twins. Two magnificent 5-story high, big pub-like buildings. On your left, closer to the mound, you see a sign out front that has the Jewel of Half-Third written on it. And on the right-hand side, the one closest to the city wall, has Half-Third's Finest written on it.
Okay, well, let's head into the jewel.
Okay, as you head on into the Jewel, you come on inside into this tavern. Let me pick out a tavern. First thing that hits you is that it's early morning, but there's already quite a few people in here drinking, which is probably a bit sort of over the top. There's nice little tavern music playing somewhere, maybe magically, maybe it's a live band, you can't see. There's quite a bit of hustle and bustle throughout this little tavern, or sorry, big tavern. All manner of people drinking. Each of you roll me a perception check, please. Okay. Even though Andros has the higher perch, Zinni, looking through everyone's legs, you actually get like a better sight and scan around the room quite a bit. And there is a table with two people on it, one of which you recognize, and one that you didn't expect to be here. A silver-scaled dragonborn in all the beautiful and
Nathaniel.
preposterous attire he was in before, is sat at one of the tables and is eating and drinking alongside someone else.
Is Jay gonna come in?
Depends. Depends
There
what
he
you
is.
guys do. Well, he's here, but like whether you guys talk at all or anything, it's on you.
Andros, I can see Nathaniel at the table over there. Do you think it's worth mocking him at some point?
I probably could, yeah.
Let's go to the bar and see if we can find Barry first.
You head on up and sort of like muscle your way through the busy bar. And you make your way to the front and see a tavern wench behind the bar who's serving a couple drinks. Hair's starting to fall out of her bun a little bit. She looks a little worked, but not necessarily tired just yet. The day's only just begun. Hey, what can I get you to?
Hi! We found this notice. I forget where.
Adventurers Guild.
At the Adventurers Guild. Which asks for help at the duel from Barry.
The commission. Okay, right. She's like got a drink in her hands. She turns around and opens the door. Barry, Adventurers here for that commission you wanted. Alright. He'll be with you in a second. And she walks over to the next person. What do you want? And she starts serving them. Eventually, a man comes out of that door. Human man, looks approximately is like mid to late 50s. Bit older. Balding on top, wispy white hair along the sides. Oh, yeah. Adventurers! Nice! We're looking to see you. Oh, you here for the commission, yeah, that I posted?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Well, come on straight in the back with me. I'll tell you what it's about.
Sure.
And he directs you to the back. Andros, you are still disguised self as some vagabond, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we go in, that guy we saw, I can't remember his name now, Nathaniel, I think it was, is he drinking?
Nathaniel was sort of eating and drinking. He was having somewhat of a meal.
Okay, can I just wait until he picks up his glass or
He's
circle?
sort of on the other side of the tavern right now, but you can mosey your way over to him.
You can move in 30 yards.
Okay.
30 feet. Just wait for him to pick up his tankard or whatever, and then cast Shape Water. And just cause all the water to fly out of the tankard.
Well,
Actually,
let me
hold on.
think
We
about
have something
that,
to
because
decide
thinking-
here. Sorry, Jay. Would Nathaniel be drinking water with his breakfast?
I mean, I envision him having a relatively simple stew, and even that put slightly to one side, as he is currently looking up after the retreating back of Zinni with a certain amount of recognition and a little bit of a glare.
Okay. So, this actually does matter for the context of the spell. Is he drinking water with his meal?
I think he would be, yes.
Okay.
It's a little early for boozing.
Okay, you instantly move or otherwise change the water. Right. Nathaniel, the moment
doesn't
you
cause, cause damage.
yeah, the moment you pick up your tankard and you start to bring it towards your mouth, you watch as you're looking down into the tankard, the water literally jumps out of the tankard and spills down your chest.
Was still looking after Zinni, who clearly did not do that because he's walking away and is now looking around wildly. That he knows enough magic to probably intuit that was magical and someone here did it.
Roll me a perception check. Andros, you will need to roll a stealth check to try and blend into the crowd here.
Can I do an advantage because I knew I was going to do it and sneak away?
No. Straight roll, please.
Oh, actually, would I get advantage because of... One sec, what does active effect? Obviously, I'm shapeshifted.
I don't think so, because he's not looking for any person in particular. He's just looking for someone who's sort of looking in his direction as this sort of happens, or is maybe walking away from him at a slightly faster pace.
I'll roll stealth.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to turn the screen off for the moment so I don't actually... I can't see what he's rolling.
Okay. Nathaniel, as you look around the room, you see the visage of some man in a hood who, as you spin around the room, was briefly looking in your direction and is now has averted his gaze and is walking away.
As Nathaniel, my mouth parts slightly, and a certain shimmering white-blue energy appears to start charging this before the waifish-looking man with glasses next to me places an arm, a hand on my arm, because it looked like I was about to do something that would probably get me thrown out of this bar.
Can you describe the man that sat next to you?
I can indeed. It's rather slight, bookish looking. honey blonde hair and glasses. Looks. I need to distract myself with the part of my brain that says looks like a twink, because that's not entirely fair.
Nice.
Oh, it looks like
Noted.
Dax. Okay.
Dax with honey blonde hair and glasses, sure, why not? And like the second person immediately begins casting some mind magics, and the water that did seem to be in the process of freezing is magically run out of his jerkin and the flame trumpet, and he is dried.
Andros, where are you moving? What are you doing?
I've kind of, make my way slowly around until I can get far enough away where I just change the look on my face, slightly, before slowly, and trying to be sneaky, make my way over to where Zinni went.
Okay. Nathaniel, you do catch this vagabond on the other side of the bar, dispelling disguise self-spell, and you recognize Andros from the talks with the arena commissioner, and he walks into the back office that Zinni went into as well.
When I said I changed my face, I don't go back to normal.
Oh, you don't go to Andros? Who do you go to?
I just change to a slightly different looking.
Okay, well, fair then. You watch as this man changes his face to look like something else, and then follows the door that Zinni went into.
Definitely makes when you need them. We're going after Zinni. I think I have my suspicions about the affiliations of that group. Their time will come. Don't worry about this.
Let's not talk too much because the players are actually not around you anymore. So, in the back office room, after a little bit, Zinni, a new man who you can only assume is Andros, probably, shuffles into the room. Andros, do you drop your disguise while you're in there, or?
No, I just go and stand in the corner. I just sort of make a gesture to Zinni to indicate it to me.
So, Barry looks at you, Zinni, he's like, is he with you?
Yeah.
Right, okay, right. Let's cut to the chase. You are in one of the twins. This is the Jewel of Hafted. Most beautiful bar on the edge of the Scrange. Without a doubt. Frankly, it's a insult that we get called the twins, since our two bars look nothing alike. His looks like a pile of shit, mine looks beautiful. Issue is, my brother, who runs the Hafted's finest, is a cunt. And he's been playing these stupid little fucking pranks on me recently, and I'm hoping that you can help me out.
What's the name of the other pub?
Hafted's finest. Proper wanky name, if you ask me.
The Jewel's definitely better.
Yeah, without that. Anyway, his decor shit, that doesn't matter, that's another topic. Couple months ago, this cunt started playing tricks on me, and I did some back in retaliation, but he's just been escalating, and it's been right pissing me off. But I've got a great idea of what we're going to do next, and you're going to help me achieve it. Is that something you may be interested in doing? Only probably take 10 minutes of your time, but I'll be willing to pay 40 gold for it.
What is it you'd like us to do?
Well, let me get you the rundown first of all. So this started, like I said, a couple months ago. My brother, first thing in the morning, came to the front of my bar and turned the open sign so it said closed. And none of my customers came in. There was people leaving the bar all day from having slept the night before, but there were no customers. Even my regulars walked up, saw the sign, didn't knock or nothing, just fucked off. So the first quarter of the day, I wasn't getting no sales or nothing. So, in response, I threw some rotten eggs at his window. Just you can clean it off afterwards, funny stuff. But yeah, anyway, he then goes and escalates it further for no reason. And he bought this little magic toy, probably from that Knob Valley up the top. hid it somewhere in my bar, and like every minute it would just make this big booming sound that would like rock across the whole bar and scare the shit out of all the customers. Such a fucking prick. Everyone got scared shit. They left. They all went to his place.
Why have you suddenly become London as fuck?
Shut the fuck up. So after that, right? Look, maybe someone
from EastEnders.
My wife says I took it a little too far, like, but I don't think so. After that, I paid some of the town criers and put up flyers to say that, like, a message allegedly from Gary that sadly Railhafted's finest was having to close down because of a mutated rat infestation. I thought it was proper funny, like, but he didn't see the funny side of it, and he saw that as somewhat of an escalation apparently. So turns out 2 weeks ago he stopped serving fish at his bar. I thought that's a little fucking weird, but then a couple of weeks went by, nothing happened. But then start of this week, start of every week you get your stock in and that, and we got all our stock and put all the boxes away and that. But then bright and early the start of the next day, we start cooking our fish, and it's only like after we've served a couple of them that we notice, hang on, this fish fucking stinks. He swapped out our new shipment with his shitty old one from 2 weeks ago that he just bought but didn't use. So I was fucking well pissed. So that's what's just happened a couple of days ago. You seem like you're just the person to help. Are you ready to hear what I've got planned? And I need help from yourself.
Yeah, go on.
I want you to get up on the roof of his building, find the biggest chimney, and take a shit down it. Pretty fucking funny, innit?
I look at Andros in distraught.
Huh?
I think this is exactly the kind of job Zinni was looking for.
40 gold just for taking a shit, come on. It's definitely worth your time.
Why can't you do it?
I can't. I'm getting a bit on in years, like. I can't be getting up on a 5-story building. But you're like adventurous, you can just like fly up on that or something. So, you want to help an old man out?
No, we have to shit down his chimney. Can we not just deliver a shit into his chimney?
I mean, if you insist, figured doing a shit would be pretty easy. But like, if you need
yeah,
the
but
shit,
then we're in public view, on top of someone's roof, curling out a turd down a chimney.
Well, it's 5 floors up now. Ain't no one gonna see you up there. We're the tallest building by 3 stories for like ages. No, ain't no fucker gonna see you up there.
Has anyone got a dog round here?
Yeah, dogs all over. But you can get some dog shit for you. I didn't realise we'd have to supply the shit, but sure, we can do that, no problem.
I think that would be better.
Sure, I could do that easy.
I'm a nervous pooer, Barry. I'm sure you can understand.
Oh, right. My wife's like that. I get it. Sorry, didn't mean to judge or nothing. Sorry. Anyway, so you will let me out.
By the way,
Oh.
Yeah, that's fine. On our way here, before I forget, on our way here, we met your mate Bort, and he wanted us to say hello to you from him.
Oh, Bort, I ain't seen him in a while. That fucker should come down. He owes me like 2 golds. Cheeky cunt.
Oh, he seemed to make it seem like you were on good terms.
Well, we are, but he's got a tab and he hasn't paid it for a little bit. It's whatever. But fucking hell, I should pay him a visit. I'm so busy these days, man. Oh.
Tell you what, we'll do this. You give us 40 gold, clear off Bort's tab.
Sure, yeah. Well, I mean, there'll be 38 gold to you then. But yeah. Nice.
Alright, 38 gold.
Cool, alright. If possible, I know this is like a bit of a stretch, but like, I want this to cause as much pandemonium as possible. If you don't mind, could you like wait till it's like peak time Because the big chimney on his building is the one that leads down into the main tavern, right? And if the shit drops onto that fire, the whole tavern will be stinking of shit. And I'll be... that I don't want to do that when no one's around, like, you know. But yeah. You're alright to,
Okay.
like, wait till it's like...
When's peak time?
Wow, like, once all the workers get off, it'll be like about mid-reap or something, and that's when everyone piles into the pubs.
When, sorry?
About mid-reap, like, you know, about the time when the gold comes into the sky.
Sorry?
The clock in this world is a bit
cool.
different. It's split into rise, reap, and rest. It is basically the afternoon. He's telling you to wait till mid-afternoon.
I
Okay.
just
Every time it's like, how does that work again? Just because you had to be special. All right.
I just talked to him and just asked, are you set on this plan, or if we come up with a better, like, more interesting way of embarrassing him, would that work as well?
Hey, if you can come up with some crazy shit, I'm all about it. But, you know, I think shitting down a chimney is pretty fucking funny.
You have some ideas, Andros?
We could make everyone think that his fire is haunted.
Ooh.
How?
Well, I mean, do you have control flames as a cantrip, or not?
Oh, I have, what's it called?
Or do you have any sort of, like, illusion, like magic?
Yeah.
Because I
I
can
have
use
this
control
one.
flames 3 times, so I can make, like, control flames that can look like some sort of, like, creature, and get really bright and also change colour. When if you can make, like, a really loud noise and such as well.
Can I do stuff? Yeah, I can do cause flames to flicker bright and dim or change colour. I can do that.
Don't get me wrong, that's too cool now. If you want to do it, I'm all for it. But I still would like a shit to go down his chimney. I sound a little dead shit on this plan, I realise, but like, I've had this thought like a week ago, it's dead funny.
Sorry, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
So you're siblings, right?
We're twins, yeah, that's why they call this place the twins.
Why are you pulling pranks on each other?
It's
curiosity.
because Carrie's a cunt, that's why. Just
Why
always
is
has
Gary a
been.
cunt?
Well, he's always been a cunt, you know? Like, every single fucking time I do something, he's always there, like, try to bring me down a peg or two. And, you know, like, ever since he married my ex-wife as well, it's just been, like, fucking hell.
Oh jeez, okay. Yeah, shit will go down his chimney then, don't you worry, fella.
Cool, yeah, I
So,
appreciate it.
Speaking out of character, just another thought. What are the chances of suggestion working on Jay's character? Get him to do it.
Well, there is a
You've
high
got to remember,
possibility.
suggestion is not a command
No,
or a
it's not my
domination.
stuff, but
It's
like, this is going to be funny if you do this.
if it's totally out of someone's like wheelhouse, a normal thing to do, then it's like it's likely to not work.
Huh.
You got to remember, suggestion is a level 1 spell. Like
No,
it is, isn't it?
it's a level 2 spell, and
Still,
it's...
that's still a pretty low spell in the scheme of things.
Okay, that's fine. Just thought anyway.
It's like I just need to make sure you like it's not a command spell. It's not like a sort of like you like make someone do something. It's like you give the idea to someone and you make it sound like a good idea. Like you artificially inflate how much they like the idea. But if the idea is still like awful, they're like unlikely to do it still.
I mean, it literally says that asking the creatures to stop themselves or throw itself into a spear, immolate itself, or do anything harmful for them would end the spell. So anything except for that would be fine.
Well, it also says the suggestion must be worded in such a manner as to make the course of action sound reasonable.
That's very...
Does Nathaniel seem like the kind of person who would reasonably take a shit down someone's chimney?
Yeah.
If you thought that would be a way of getting back at Zinni, maybe. To me, it sounded like he was about to like attack me in the pub earlier.
It's definitely an avenue that you can pursue, but I think it'll eventually come down to a judgment call from Jay about his idea of Nathaniel and whether he finds it to be a reasonable suggestion. I don't want him to reveal that now, because that's obviously the kind of thing that will be revealed after the fact. Yeah.
I wouldn't bring it up.
Okay, well, I've got other ways of messing with Jay, so that's fine.
Okay. So are we done here then?
So yeah, I think we know what we're gonna do.
Sorted, right. You come back and you get a 40 gold from me once it's done, and I'll I think the missus can. There's some dogs that shit outside the back, I reckon. Well, whenever you're gonna do it, come round the back and knock, and we'll have it for you ready.
We'll be back round later then.
Sorted. I'll see you then. So,
just before we head back into the main part of it, we use disguise self again to make myself look like Anxie.
okay.
You make yourself look like Nathaniel and then deliver the shit.
I mean, the whole point is I don't think anyone's going to see us do it anyway. So.
Okay, so Nathaniel, Anxie and Zinni then leave the back room, slowly followed by Barry.
I didn't see Anxie go in.
No, you did not.
No.
You saw
let me
Zinni
check.
and an unmarked man.
Who I've already seen change their expression.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to need Anxie to make a wisdom saving throw. I
It's
think.
Andros.
It is Andros, but it's Anxie to him. But yes,
But it doesn't
Andros,
look like
roll a
Anxie.
wisdom saving throw.
Fuck.
It's a 19, Jay.
That does beat the DC, so I suppose nothing happens.
Can you write to me what you were trying to cast? Because does he feel anything if he succeeds?
I wouldn't have thought so, but hang on.
Just write to me what spell it is.
Yeah. Yeah, someone doesn't play balance.
Okay, okay. You just say yes, bro. Chill. Andros, as you step out in Anxie's form, you feel this magical energy try to be some sort of invasive force against you, but you shrug it off and you suffer no ill effects.
Do I see the cause of it or anything like that?
That's Nathaniel. Were you trying to be stealthy?
Nope, openly glaring at them.
He, in fact, makes it quite obvious who was trying to cast some sort of spell at you.
Okay, so I spot him, realise that he did that. I just look at him and I blow the horn of silent alarm as loud as I can.
My god.
So you blow the horn of alarm as loud as you can, or silent alarm.
And obviously directed to him.
Yeah, I imagine this is pretty loud. Jay, how's Nathaniel going to react to this? Jay.
He might be deaf.
I think he's deaf now, yeah. His connection might be a bit dodgy. Jay, can you fucking hear us? Okay, well, oh yeah, wait, he was disconnected for that. Jay, can you hear us? You're on your phone now, I see.
because the setup that I was assured would work with any USB-C cable just powered down on me.
Oh, nice, brilliant. How does
Excellent.
Nathaniel react to the horn of silent alarm being blown into his ear?
I mean, how far are we going to escalate this?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I have more if you want to keep going.
Yeah, so do I.
Yes, please keep going, guys. Especially when you look like me.
I mean, I think
I mean,
he knows it's probably not you, so he saw, like, somebody else go in, so on.
That's
I was
true.
like,
I don't know. I think he would have
I-
ample reason to believe it actually is Anxie.
yeah, no, completely.
Yep.
And I'm sure this will not have consequences for Anxie at all.
Oh my fucking god.
Okay, so the horn of silent alarm blown, as Nate's concerned, directly into his ear.
Mm-hmm.
One moment. I'm just going to roll a persuasion check for the end of this.
Okay.
I couldn't hear what he said.
He's rolling a
Quiet.
persuasion check for the guy next to him, trying to tell him, I imagine, not to freak out.
Nathaniel does calm down somewhat, and now they're just sort of muttering to each other. But, oh, I feel like that was right on the cusp of what I was willing to allow with anticipation.
Okay. So Zinni, this only happens in like a couple seconds, and you sort of bump into Andros, who's now blowing a horn that you can't hear.
What's going on? What are you doing?
Don't worry about it. It's probably a good idea we leave, though.
Okay.
The two
So
of you
as,
just...
as we're leaving, can you wave at I can't remember his name now. Jay's character.
wave at Nathaniel.
Nathaniel.
Yeah, Nathaniel.
Can you stop forgetting his name? That's the worst thing you can do to him. Never mind your water in your horn, just the parlor tricks. Remember his
Andros,
damn
what-
name.
Andros, what have you done?
And nothing that wasn't warranted.
Right, let's get out of here before we get into trouble.
Are you going to wave at him
Oh,
as
you're
you
in
leave?
No.
Okay. So, I imagine Zinni at this point is trying to usher Andros out of the inn.
As I leave, I do give him a little wave.
Okay.
It is so fortunate it is this person next to Nathaniel. If it was any of the others, this place would be a crater right now.
I mean, fun fact was I've got 3 more charges of that horn, and he's a 600-yard range.
What does the horn do?
It's basically a horn that, when you use it, only one person can hear it. So I basically just blew a huge horn into his ears, and nobody else could hear.
Normally, it's a normal horn blow, but you're like in very close proximity. It's probably very, very loud to him.
Yeah.
Like it's usually like other side of the battlefield, silently warn my ally that someone's coming, sort of thing.
Yeah, weaponizing it is an interesting bit here, I have to say.
All right, you guys leave the Jewel of Half-Third.
Can I just
Mm-hmm.
So I want to ask if there's any buildings of interest nearby, and I also want to suggest that we go over to Halford's Finest, the other pub, and see what's going on over there before we deliver a shit.
Okay.
I'm going to talk cool since I think I'm done for now.
So you come out of the Jewel of Half-Third and you head on over to Half-Third's Finest. right back into another tavern. I gotta switch screens all over again. You come into this tavern, and I shit you not, it looks basically exactly the same, but like some of the colours are like slightly different. Where you saw it was like red, it's like deep burgundy instead. Like the layout looks exactly the same, all the arrangement of tables are actually exactly the same, but it's just a slightly differently coloured. But this one also similarly is just as busy, with the exact same layout. You see the bar with the barmaids behind it.
Is it busy as fuck?
It's about as busy as the jewel was.
Is Nathaniel sat at the back?
No, Nathaniel is not sat at the back of this one.
Nathaniel's twin sat at the back.
Let's approach the bar. See if we can meet this Gary.
Okay. You walk up to the barmaid. Hey, what can I get you to?
Hello. We're new in the city. Is there anything you could recommend?
I mean, staying at Ralhaft's finest, it's, the finest made for the finest, we've got good rooms at affordable prices and good food too.
What makes it the finest?
Because we've just got all the finest stuff. The softest beds, the nicest food. Maybe not some of the stuff you find in the uppers, but ain't no fucker going there, that shit costs too much. Here you get good bang for your buck and everything that you could need.
And who owns this fine establishment?
This one of the twins is run by Gary.
Gary?
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a building opposite. These two are called the twins. They're run by twin brothers. Don't like each other very much, though.
Oh, I did think that building looked a bit similar to this one.
Hey, don't let him catch you saying that.
Oh, okay.
Ralhaf, the
So this
finest,
bit
is
of
way
rivalry
nicer
going
than the
on.
jewel. And she gives you a big, obvious wink.
I see. Are there any ales that you can recommend?
Of course, we've got a couple of different house ales on tap, made locally, or just some imported from the other side of the island.
I'll take a pint, please.
Sure thing. For your friend as well?
What would you like?
Oh, I'll take the same.
2 pints, that'll be 4 copper.
There you go.
She slides over 2 tankards to you. The bar is sticky. The tankards have the foam spilling over the top. This is exactly the pinnacle of what you would expect a bottom-end bar to be just like.
Was the jewel sticky? Because we went to the bar there as well.
I don't think you really touched the table that much, but it glistened the same way.
Okay. So is Gary here?
He probably is, but yeah, he's always busy hauling around stock and making sure everyone's doing their job. If he asks, tell him I'm doing amazing.
Oh, most certainly. What's your name, sorry?
My name's Betty.
Betty. Okay, Betty, I'll let him know.
And she heads on off and starts serving someone else who's grabbed her attention.
Hereford's finest. How does one, I don't want to be sus, but I also want to talk to Gary.
There is the same back door in the same position that leads to what you can assume is a similar back room.
Yeah, but I can't just walk in.
True.
Then I'm sus.
There's a lot of people around still enjoying themselves, a lot of people eating and drinking already at this early time of the mid-morning.
Is there anyone at the bar next to me?
There's a very crotchety old man who's looks like he should have shaven weeks ago, just nursing a pint and just...
Well, he looks like he's gonna fucking turn into dust any second. Oh my. Hello there, sir.
Hi.
You alright?
Hi, not
I
too
was-
bad, yeah.
I was wondering if you could tell us a bit about the twin inns here.
The twins, they're nice enough. I've always come to finest. The jewels are shit if you ask me.
What makes you say that?
I've heard Barry's a right cunt.
He's probably just like, he's a cunt. No, he's a.
Two brothers have been at it for fucking ages. It's a big old thing. They proper hate each other, but Gary's a good lad, you know.
But
What are you
makes
doing here then?
Oh, we're just travellers and we're just passing through.
Nice, well, you landed in the right place, love.
Yeah, we got recommended to check out the twins. They're truly iconic buildings, I would say.
Definitely, yeah. I don't know why they call it the twins though, where one's so much obviously better than the other, you know?
Yeah. I haven't been to the jewel yet, so I can't really comment.
I wouldn't bother if I was you. Have
Fair
you
enough.
sipped your pint yet, by the way?
I love a sip.
As you take a sip, it is just barely tastier than piss itself. Just barely.
I asked the bartender. We're fairly new to the city. Wondering if we can get like a bird's eye view of it. Yeah, I saw your building looks pretty tall compared to everything else. You know, is there any like viewing bit of it?
I mean, there's a ladder from the top floor up to the roof for, like, you know, dealing with the tiles and that, but if you buy a room on the top floor, sure, I'm not going to tell you not to get on the ladder on the side of the building.
I mean, how much are rooms?
Rooms on the top floor, it'll be 5 silver for the night. Breakfast included, though.
What's on the menu for brekkie?
Oh, any old fried meats that we can get. Maybe even some fried bread if we can get some surplus. Couple eggs probably as well. Standard stuff, you know. Good hearty stuff, you know.
Sounds delightful.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot I went on the rooms. I just removed my shoe and taken the coins out.
You have platinum in your shoes, right?
Do you have change?
And you present to her a platinum and say, "Do you have change?" It's like rocking up to a pub with a £50 note. Yeah, just give me a second. And she starts counting up. Yes, you get your 9 gold, 5 silver back.
I put all the your coins again back in my shoes, but now they're noticeably heavier.
Alright, here's your key. Number 3 on the top floor. That's yours all day, and we'll only take the key back tomorrow after breakfast.
Perfect, thanks.
Cool.
Is it like? I would rather it be Andros is staying, but not me. Is that clear?
I mean, you didn't mention anything about it. I don't think she... It's probably fair that she's, like, assumed you're probably going to stay, but you can say, like... You can just say audibly, I'm probably going to find somewhere else.
I mean, I'm not actually going to stay, I'm just using it to...
If she doesn't
Yeah,
want to
exactly,
be seen with
but
you.
It's like, I feel like that's going to be a bit of a clue to who's put a shit down the chimney. And you're in disguise, and I'm not. So, although you do look like Anxie.
Is that really a disguise?
Okay. So I forgot to mention. Yeah, before we entered this bar chain, just looked like a random vagabond again.
Okay. All right, fair.
Otherwise, I think it's me.
Okay. So, unfortunately, I'd stay here as well, but I've already got a room at the ladies' garden. Maybe when
Oh, nice and fancy that.
yeah, but I do prefer it here, so maybe once I've run out of days there, I'll come here.
More of a homey feel here. A lot more weird folk up there, if you ask me.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you already paid for room, I wouldn't waste it. Yeah, absolutely. But make sure you come back as soon as.
Yeah, and I'll let my friend here experience it himself, and he can let me know how it is.
I'm sure he'll give you a stunning review.
So, I mean, is this as busy as it gets here, or is it busier later?
No, it gets a lot busier after the workers all finish wherever they work in. Both the twins pile up with people. Yeah, but only one of them's any good, isn't it? Right? The old man chirps up next to you. Yeah, usually like mid-reap is around when we get usually our busiest. Everyone piling in from a day wanting a pint.
No, just carry on drinking then, I guess. Gotta kill some time.
Okay.
Unless there's any other buildings you wanted to check out before there's any.
I think we should ask people about their opinion on the twins, and that's like I mean, we are new, but that's like we've not been to the other one, and see what people think. Just sort of float through the pub and be like, so, what do you think of the twins then?
So you float around. There's a lot of older people here. You get the feeling that like it's mostly filled out with old people during the day when like they're the only people not working. There are a couple of young'uns in here though, people that may be a bit too young to get the hard labour jobs that the scrounge would usually get at their age. Some like mid-teenagers who are also nursing a pint but like looking around eagerly so that like people don't necessarily maybe see them. If you want to sidle up to one of them or just go ask another old person. What's your pick, Zinni?
The second one,
Was that young or old?
young.
Okay. You walk up to this young halfling girl. She's not nursing a pint, she's nursing a half pint because a whole pint's a bit too big for a halfling her size. She's just there at one of the tables right in front of a nice roaring fire. Hey.
Hello there. Sorry to bother you. We're new to the city, so we're just, strolling around, chatting to people like yourself, and just, wanting to understand what the overall vibe is, I guess.
Well, this is Halfthird's finest. My uncle owns the place. Yeah.
Oh!
Uh-huh.
The lady at the bar told me he's called Gary, is that right?
Yeah, Gary, yeah. Garton is
Oh.
his full name, but everyone just calls him Barry.
Gary?
Yeah, Garton is
You
the
said
full name.
Barry.
Garten is Gary's full name.
But but everyone just calls him Barry.
Oh, did I? I meant to say Gary, sorry.
Oh, that's lovely. What do you think about Hafford's finest?
Oh, it's the best pub around, isn't it? Homey, cozy vibes and good food and drink.
That seems to be the general consensus here. Sounds like a wonderful place to be.
It's way better than the Jewel, yeah.
Well, a lot of people seem to dislike the Jewel. What's your perspective on it?
Oh, it's run by Barry, my uncle's brother. He's a right cunt though.
So he's your uncle as well?
Well, yeah, but we don't talk with him or mess with him that much. On account of him being a cunt.
Why would you refer to him as a cunt?
Oh, it's because it's just what he is, isn't it? Yeah, you gotta say it like you see it.
I mean, for sure. I'm just curious as to what he's done wrong. Everyone seems to be calling him a cunt.
Oh, they've hated each other forever. Barry's always like starting shit when he really doesn't need to, and it really fucked things up when he married Gary's ex-wife. That was really fucked up. But no, they've always hated each other for such a long time. Before I was born, obviously. But I hear stories of all like the little messed up things they did to each other.
Wait, did I hear that correctly? In that, so they both married each other's ex-wives.
Yes. Apparently, it seems to be a very strange, familiar story.
Dex probably fucked up, but
I did not fuck up.
Holy fuck.
wow. Okay.
While like Zinni's talking to people, I'm still at the bar. I ask, do they do any food?
Wait, so you're at the bar still?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do food here.
What's the spiciest food they do?
Spiciest, not much. A lot of like what's on the menu that you see is like very simple boiled foods, some grilled foods, and then some soups and stews. Very, very simple, rudimentary stuff without much preparation or seasoning to it.
Okay, I order and pay for like 3 meals.
Okay.
Can I do a check to see if she seems like she's lying about this tale?
Roll an insight check.
Jesus.
From what you can gather from this girl, she's a very, very well-meaning, albeit very sweet girl. You can't detect any sort of like hint of like lying or attempting to deceive you. She's telling you all the truth and like things that she's heard, stuff that she knows that has happened, all manner of stories.
So do you reckon that I should stay here then and not go to the duel?
Oh yeah, Jules a pile of shit.
Support your Uncle Gary.
Of course, Gary's a great guy. Everybody loves him. Apart
I'd
from all
love
the
to meet
weirdos that have been brainwashed and go in the duel. I don't know why they do that. You'd love to meet him?
Yes.
I mean... maybe I could go get him for you?
Yeah, everyone seems to have such nice things to say about him, so, he sounds like a right stand-up chap.
Okay.
Who wouldn't want to meet someone like that?
I'll go get him now. And she runs off and knocks at the door to the back room and immediately lets herself in. About 30 seconds later, she comes out with a man who looks near enough identical to Barry that you saw earlier, except he's got slightly more hair on top, whereas Barry was like pretty much completely bald on top. Heard my niece has been saying good things about you. You new to town? It's nice to see you all. Welcome to Afford's finest.
Hiya, it's really nice to meet you. Yeah, we're new to the town, and a lot of people are very, speaking very highly of you. So it made sense to sort of put a face to the name, really.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? Finest is as finest does. You come to the right place. It's nice to meet you, and I hope you have a lovely time here.
Thank you so much. I wondered if you could. If you have any recommendations on what we should do or where we should visit during our stay.
Oh, there's all sorts of cool things you can do in this city. If you can get to the uppers, I'm sure there's some lovely things up here. Not been here myself. What if there's something going on at the arena? I'm sure there's something cool. I heard something about a cool fight going down in like a week or so. I'll probably be going to that. That sounds like it'd be great. It's been a while since we had a good fight. It's been a lot of like weird fucking like sport events that like whatever. I want to see some blood, But aside from that, there's all sorts of like merchants, craft shops. You can get basically you can get anything you want in here. But as long as you always come back here for a drink at the end of the day, you'll be right in my books.
Oh, I've just had a pint of one of your house ales. It was lovely.
I'm glad to hear it. It's good, isn't it? Yeah. We always make sure we get the good local stuff. We always nab it before my cunt brother across the street gets it, so we always have the best stock.
You know, I keep hearing the word cunt being thrown around about the jewel.
Yeah, because there are a bunch of cunts in there. My twin brother runs it. Yeah.
Alright.
Gary, I told her like some stuff already. I told him he's a massive cunt. He's done so many like really shitty things. You know, he threw a bunch of eggs at the windows recently. It was fucked up. I was proper messed up in it. I can't believe someone would do something so shamelessly juvenile like that. You know?
Yeah, it sounds And she also mentioned that apparently he married your ex-wife.
Oh, can't believe he fucking done that. Poor Jenny. I don't know what possessed her to shack up with that cunt. Ugh.
Are they still together?
I think so. Well, last I heard, actually. And he like looks around and leans down to you. Last I heard, he was cheating on her a bit, but we keep that between you and me. He's a right cunt. But anyway, yeah. Just so you know.
I see. Can I do an insight check on this as well?
Yeah, roll insight. Yeah, like as you talk to him, he seems entirely truthful. A lot of this is sort of like you get the feeling that he said this before. He's sort of like going through the rigmarole of like telling people how much of a cunt his brother is something he's very used to doing, but still every inch of it feels truthful. You know what? I was wondering if you could help me out with something. You were new to town, right?
Please don't ask me to put shit down his chimney. What can I help you with?
Well, you know, I told you a second ago that he's been like throwing eggs in my window. There was one time, and like he went and put up a bunch of signs to say that I was closing down because of a mutated rat infestation. Fucking nonsense. What kind of dumb cunt does something like that? Anyway, I was wanting to like get him back somehow. But I was planning something. It could be dead funny, but I don't want to say it in here if you don't mind. And best the little ones don't hear it. Do you want to come into the back room with me for a sec?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Come here then. And he escorts you into the back room. Just you by yourself since Andros is by the bar, eating 3 meals. And he closes the door behind him. Oh, always nice to see new faces in town, and new faces are what can help me out here. So, I've got an idea.
Right.
I was wondering, because we need to get him back somehow. We need to fuck with his customers a little bit, because, you know, he cost me so much money when he put up those signs, because I didn't get customers for like a day. Because everyone was just like, oh, did you hear Gary's got rat infestation? Well, as if I fucking would, like. I'm going to take care of my own, whatever. That aside, I need to fuck with his customers a little bit, but not too much, you know. We need to escalate a little bit, but like not enough so he gets like big retaliatory. Anyway, I was wondering if I could... I'll pay you, of course. I'll pay you good. Probably like 40 gold maybe or something. If you could get on the roof of his building.
God.
If you could take a piss down his chimney. And that way all the lobby would fucking stink of piss.
I mean, I feel there needs to be some delegation of labour here, isn't it? I can't do all of it.
You can't lie, it would be dead funny, wouldn't it?
I think we'd need more than 40 gold for that one, Chief.
It's 40 gold just for some piss. Roll me a persuasion check. You are fucking on fire tonight, Zinni. Holy shit. That is a 19, a 17, and a 19. Holy. And he sits there and he goes, ah. Oh, you spoke to my niece, you seem like a lovely girl.
Why is Jay writing his kinks in the general chat?
I'm not even reading it. I can go up to 45, but like, yeah, he's a bit of a dodgy joke to get on his roof and that, but like, it'd be a bit, you know, I can't go much higher than that. 45, is that good?
I look at Andros.
He's not in the room with you.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm busy doing my job.
So, Zinni doesn't want to get seen doing this. She wants Andros to use his disguises to do it.
You do have, if I recall, I gave you the Dust of Disappearance, which you can use to make yourself invisible.
Well, can I piss and be invisible?
Yeah.
I think only something that counts as an action or an attack would break you out of stealth. I don't think pissing counts as an attack.
Is the piss invisible? This is an important question.
As soon as the piss leaves your body, it would not be invisible anymore.
Alright, Gary, for you.
I always
45
knew
gold.
you were a good one. 45. I'll pay it to you as soon as you're done. You know, I reckon I'll know when it's done when I hear the screams from across the street.
What? Is there any particular time you want me to do it, or do you just want me to fly over?
I
and do it
reckon
right
it'd
now?
be best if you wait until it's like peak hours, around when all the workers like finish. When like the golden light gets in the sky, like mid-reap around then. Are you able to stick around till then?
Okay. No problem.
Nice, sorted.
Yeah.
Do you go and tell Andros what you agreed to?
Yes, I am going to tell you. And you're going to have to drop the shit. And I'm going to have a piss. And we're going to see each other from across the way doing naughty things. I mean, I'm invisible, so you won't see me, but you,
I mean,
you know.
I'll be disguised as Jay's character anyway, but... So what I'll do, so obviously one of us to be synchronized for the best effect, is I will cast light on myself. So I get lit up like a Christmas tree. Or should I say Jay's character gets lit up like a Christmas tree.
Okay.
And when you see that, that's obviously the signal.
After you two have rendezvoused and start talking about your plans, we're going to cut across again to the other side of the city. Back up to the uppers, where we rejoin with Cedric, Anxie, and Baylor, who are not doing anything bodily fluid related and are going to the magic shop Immaculation.
After this journey, I'm emotionally drained.
Are you awake enough to play Planet? Because we can call it here as well.
Oh, yeah. I'm very much awake. I took a
Good,
few
good.
naps today.
Alright.
Let's go to the store, guys.
A few naps even. Okay.
Oh yeah, I was very sleepy.
So, you guys walk down the main street and eventually get to nice, pristine, beautiful magic shop known as Immaculation. Like before, the outside has some sort of like beautiful visage to it, but there is no longer a sign on the door saying closed for weekly restock.
Great sign, team. We should enter.
Yes. Let's go in.
Are you leading the way, Anxie?
I suppose, yeah. I'm entering the store.
As you open the door and to head into the store, you're immediately greeted by a little startle of a man right in front of you. Roll me a quick perception check, please.
Of course.
All of us?
Just Anxie. It's just as she opens the door.
I would like to reroll that with my lucky points, which I have 3 of.
Okay.
Decent.
So, as in this little moment of shock, you open the door, and there's someone else who was just coming the other way. But there's a tiny little thing that you catch even just a snippet of, and that's as you looked up at this man's hand as he was like reaching towards the door handle. You watched as his fingers were. His whole hand was like in the process of changing skin color, and it run down it. His skin was like a beautifully deep orangey color, but there was like a greyish blue hue that overlapped it. It was just in a quick split second. On top of that, once you start to fully take in the visage and see what they look like, you see a genasi, about 6 feet tall. So it's mainly blue skin with like slightly greyish tones. He's got deep cerulean eyes and a shock of white hair with very faintly blue tint. Like it's mostly white, but very, very faintly blue. And he's dressed all quite nice and immaculate. Just sorry about that. And he stands to the side and gestures you to enter.
Do I recognize this guy as the person that has been going to the other magic store?
What do you mean by recognize? I don't know.
I mean the description of him, basically. Because the other guy was an air genasi as well.
Do you want to double check your notes for that?
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Ooh.
Can't fucking find it. It's alright. I guess it's not the same person.
Yeah. I'll tell you just for saving you time to scroll through your notes. When you spoke to Veli, he spoke of a group coming in, a group that you didn't really get any description of, but he also told you about an individual that was very smouldering and very, very...
Oh, yeah, Dragonborn.
No,
so it was basically...
It was very handsome and very like sweet talking to him, who was a fire genasi.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna get it right.
Fire genasis that you know, by the way, who have skin hues varying from orange to red.
Yeah, I got that.
Excuse me, sorry. And he just gestures for you to enter.
Oh, hello. It's alright. And I awkwardly enter.
The two of you following suit in afterwards?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Before he leaves, which I assume they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
I look back at the person
Mm-hmm.
and basically scan them a bit, trying to remember how they look like, just in case he's a person of interest.
Okay.
And then I go towards, like, if, in case there is a clerk desk or something.
So, inside the Store of Immaculation, everything, as you can imagine, is immaculate. Everything is completely pristine. All the glass cabinets with like little trinkets and items inside have been completely cleaned and dusted down. You don't even see a single speck of dust anywhere. All the wood is perfectly polished and pristine, like brand new. Like you would, even in places where you would expect, like you know, when like the corner of like tables, like where it's like, you know, the harsh corner, you expect to see like a little bit of like sanding down of the wood where it's like just someone's had their hand on it and it's like, you know, rubbed a bit of the lacquer off or something. Not even that. Everything is absolutely perfect. You see at the back of the store there is that sort of like till sort of like desk sort of area, and you see a man behind it, an elf of tall, impeccable frame, standing and looking very, very staying still. His hair is long and back and tied into what can guess it's some kind of ponytail because it's like you can't see like waves coming off the back or anything. His cloak is magnificent with a deep, deep blue with like the slightest trimmings of silver around it. A beautiful blouse under it as well, and he's just generally holding immaculate frame and standing very still as he watches you enter his domain.
Could you please repeat what they look like before to impeccable frame and their clothing afterwards and hair?
He is an elf with
Okay,
the long hair and that. He's got very, very sort of like
lovely.
thin features, a thin nose and quite a thin chin it comes down to as well. And it doesn't look like... He's borderline, it looks like he's mewing almost, where he's just like maintaining like a very sort of like specific facial like look as he sort of like scans around the room.
You gotta ruin every NPC there. Don't.
No, but it's very on point though, I get it.
Yeah. Okay, I go towards this man's desk or wherever he's standing.
You walk across the room to the desk.
Hello.
Hello.
I would imagine this is your store.
Yes.
We would be interested in looking into some of your inventory. Would that be an issue?
Of course. We have plenty of things to offer, from many improved and enchanted weapons to magical items and trinkets. And you watch, there is like a piece of paper on the desk, centered perfectly in the desk, with a pen slightly on it. You watch as he, like, with his two fingers, grabs the pen and moves it to the side so it's still directly parallel with the paper, and then he pushes the paper forward and turns it around to you, so it's now completely parallel with you. And there's just a ledger of items. You're free to peruse around and look through the things that you wish, although these are the items that I think that you'll be most looking forward to, and some of our newest stock.
Thank you very much. I would like to take my time to look into your inventory now.
So, as you start to read the items on the list, the first item is an Amulet of Fortitude, listed for 900 gold. It requires attunement. It is a necklace that gives you 10 temporary hit points at the start of every day. I will paste that one in the chat.
Nice.
The second one is Bloodline Robes. They require attunement. They give you an extra meta magic. So this is for sorcerers.
Oh, fucking hell.
On attunement, you also gain an extra sorcerer spell that you can use at your current level. You get to then pick a spell out of all your spells that you have and reduce its critical strike threshold by 2, meaning that you can crit on an 18, 19, or 20. And once per week, it has a feature where you can restore 50% of your maximum sorcery points as a bonus action in combat.
Oh no, that's gonna cost so much.
It is listed for 22,000 gold.
Okay. Guys, we need to win that arena, you know?
You should ask if they offer it on finance.
Fucking hell.
There is also a Ring of Cat's Grace, which is a ring that acquires attunement, and it sets a player's dexterity to 16 and prevents it from being modified in any way. Listed for 8,000 gold. The next item on the list is called Yuan-Ti's Paranoia. It requires attunement. It is a ring. While wearing this ring, you are immune to magic that allows other creatures to read your thoughts, determine whether you are lying, know your alignment, or your creature type.
Andros is like,
Creatures can telepathically communicate with you only if you allow it.
Oh, I'm not interested in those items. I'm interested in the fun, like, fawn of annoying Jay's character, etc.
You can also use an action to cause the ring to become invisible until you use an action to make it visible, or until you remove the ring or you die. Listed for 480 gold. And the last item on the list is a Void Flame Longsword. It deals 2d8 damage or 2d10 versatile if you two-hand it. This longsword, infused with Void Stone, can ignore resistances and immunities to magical and non-magical effects. If you attune to the item, you can also ignite this sword with a black flame which lasts for 3 turns, which will, on a successful hit, transfer the flames and engulf the target and burn them for 2d6 damage for 3 turns. The flames cannot be put out. The flame also has a once per 3-day recharge. Other than that, those are the big ticket items that are listed. There are various potions that are listed, and virtually any kind of +1 weapon can be found here, varying from 500 to 1000 gold.
$22K!
That's some nice stuff, though.
Yeah. But
Also, for the record,
technically-
it's a big pet peeve of mine. Please do not try to look up any magical items as I tell them to you.
oh no.
This is mainly for Andros because I know he looks up shit as soon as we say the name of it. For that purpose, by the way, these are all completely custom items. You will not find them anywhere. So these are all totally homebrewed.
A few days ago, Jack said, "This time there will be some magical items for you." Ta-da! 22K worth of a rope.
You see what it can do, though.
He's such a bitch, isn't he?
Do you
We'll
see
never
what
be
it
able
can
to
do,
say
though?
that.
I mean, okay, so doing some quick maths, you only need to shit in 550 chimneys to get a
Nice.
Oh my god.
That's totally achievable with 5 people through an entire city. Yeah, it's only 110 chimneys each.
You said he also has any +1 weapon.
Yes.
Do they have any +1 armors?
There are no +1 armors available here, sorry.
Jesus freaking Christ. I look into the list of items, and I pass it to the rest of my group basically after revisiting it. Would any of these items be exchangeable for, let's say, any jobs in particular or anything that we could do for you?
No.
Alright. Well, it was worth a shot, wasn't it? Do you have any healing potions we might buy as well?
Yes, I have a stock of healing potions. Anything from regular to supreme can be bought.
Alright, that's good to know.
I've heard those supreme potions are a scam.
So have I. Lovely. I'll take a note of your inventory, and I'll be actually quite interested in some of your items. And we'll be coming back in the future.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Good day.
Hope- Good day to you as well, sir.
You just leaving the store?
You broke me.
Alright, you leave the store. Is that everything you could have dreamed, Platt?
I genuinely hate you right now. I knew something like that's gonna happen, but I did not expect a 22K, let me tell you that.
Well, it sounded like an insane item, though. So.
It is an insane item, but I'll probably never be able to afford it.
For the
Say
record,
never.
when I sent Jay the stats, he damn near had a spit take and said, "That's insane."
It is.
It is by
That's-
no means balanced.
No, it's not. But it's by no means affordable either. It's just like something that exists in the world and you will never have.
You guys are getting 10k.
Per group.
I mean, we're getting 10k, and then like if we save another village, it's like could be another 10k.
And if we keep saving villages, we'll eventually have enough to buy each.
I mean, you just have to convince like just to pool our gold, So because the thing is, if we
Yeah.
keep saving up for our own like OP items, it's going to take ages. Whereas if we get like one OP item, like a big quest per, we get the item each time. We're going to be more valuable than just having 10k gold sat in the bags.
That amulet of fortitude looks pretty good though.
Don't we all already have 200k?
No.
My gold's wrong then.
Wait, how much gold do you have?
It says I have 264k, and then 111k plat.
Wait, what?
And I'm pretty sure that's the number that you input, Dax, not me.
Oh, Zinni, can I have some gold?
You have 200. You have 264 gold and 111 platinum. So you currently have.
Oh, not K.
Yeah, you have 1,375 gold. Because platinum to gold is 1 to 10.
Yeah.
I can get my epic mount.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. After I leave the store, I go immediately to the tavern. That's basically on the other side.
Okay. Into the jeweled repose. Are you guys following her as well, I assume?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you head on into the now familiar interior of the jeweled repose. Again, clientele, very prim and proper. You somewhat stand out. I mean, Cedric stands out sort of wherever he goes, really. Half-orcs are rarely seen these days. But, yeah, you find yourself in the jeweled repose. What are you looking to do?
I enter the tavern. I sit at the bar, greet the bartender calmly, and ask for a herbal tea.
Right away. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. There's your herbal tea, minus off 4 silver.
So why were we in this bar again?
I'm processing life.
You're going to spend 22k on.
Exactly.
Is there a reason we're here?
You should
I
need to
just
take a load
entered
off.
Yeah.
Said. Oh, just to check, you're not at one of the bars in the school, are you?
No, she's in the jeweled repose in the
Okay,
uppers.
thank God.
Well, if we're just in the bar, isn't it a nice moment to end the session?
That's what I was thinking. If you guys wanted to leave it there for now, while you can strategize what you're going to do with these 2 quests that you've been given, and ponder on what magical items you might choose to buy.
I mean, my quest I've got perfectly planned out. An epic finale, lights, even music.
Yes, good time to end the
If the
session.
plan goes well, every single person in the lower city is going to notice what's happening.
So, done and done for now. Yeah, there we go.